Hi, P. Hello. Hello. I'm XP. That sounds so silly. I'm so sleepy today. I don't know, maybe I didn't sleep enough. I'm not sure. But this will be fun. I think I'll wake up, you know. Sleepy. If I wasn't streaming, I feel like I could have taken a nap. But afternoon nap. Just like Terry, no. How much rest did I get? I don't know. I don't remember. I stopped wearing my watch that used to tell me how much rest I got and stuff. I stopped wearing it. I don't know anymore. I don't know my stats anymore. Shukusei. Purge. Always remember that when day is sad, always remember happy day. Happy day. Took a nap earlier and ended up feeling worse. I hate when that happens. Well, maybe I could just sleep early today, right? Had my first flat tire. Oh no! Road service was an hour away, so I fixed it myself. Wait, did you have like another tire with you? I'm like so nervous that's gonna happen to me. I've never had that happen to me. I've had to call the insurance people to like tow my car before though. Cause it like didn't start. But that was like at my house though. I was like, oh my god, thank god I'm not anywhere crazy, you know? Focus on getting all my sleep in one go. That's probably the better move, you know? Also, I'm drinking the tea that makes me crazy. Cause I figure this will wake me up. I had a spare. I've never changed a tire before. You know, I would try and change my own oil, but I don't have the thing that lifts up your car. You know what I mean? The car jack thing. I don't have that. I can't make XP Papa or Grandpa do it anymore because I don't live at home. What am I supposed to do? I'm just a girl. I have to go pay people to change it. What's home? Whatever you want it to be. My face when I try to stay sane, but I drink the tea that makes me crazy. Jacko? No, that's different. I had a fox watching me the whole time I was fixing my tire. Wait, that's kind of cool though. The people who put Jack on the side of the car, not the axle. What? A slide at the park can be home? Not technically. I'm just saying it's more subjective. Like a house cannot be your home kind of thing, you know? I tried to explain to someone once, like there's like certain Final Fantasy X songs I like listening to. And it's like, oh, I feel like whenever I listen to them, I feel like I'm at home. And they like didn't get it. They were like, even when you are home? I was like, well, it's like different. The feeling of home and the feeling of being in your house is a little different. But anyway, I'm playing my favorite visual novel today. Yeah, a little bit of it at least. 6-7 streak, you're almost there. Thank you for the 65 stream streak history. Wow, that's so many. That's so many. Wow. 6-5. Anyway, I will do leveling roll call before we start. If you're here, make sure you say something in chat, and I'll say hi to you before we start the stream. Let's see. Hi, Nane Monkey. Hi, P. Hi, Isaiah. Hi, P. I'm scared. Well, I remember being scared, but I don't know if it'll be scary. We'll see how scary it is. Hi, Taco Oji. Hi, P. Hi, History. Hi, TCLE. Wonder how long the game has been on my wish list. So there's 2 versions. I'll talk about that later. Let's see. Hi, Nate. Hi, P. Hi, Spectre. Hi, Mingfeng Zhang. Hi, History. Did you get your blanket ready? If you want to. If it's not too warm. It's really hot today. Hi, Alexander. Hi, P. Hi, Mingfeng Zhang. Hi, P. Hi, Mov Mov. Hi, Lobby. Refilled your water? Me too. Hi, Nate Monkey. Hi, Nate. Hi, Spectre. Did I already say hi? I feel like I'm losing track already. Hi, Bonkers. Hi, Taco Oji. Fancy meeting you here. Fancy meeting you here today. Hi, Nino. Hi, Bronze. Hi. Legitopotamus. Something in chat the sequel. Hi, HPBC. Hi, P. Hi, Jason. Hi, Yugi. Hi, History on Twitch. It's fine, I'll take 2, yeah. I lost track today. Like I said, I'm a little tired. But it's okay. I'll wake up. I shall be awake, P. Hi, tired. I'm Nate. Hello. Okay, I wanted to say there's 2 versions of this game because one of them got translated a long time ago by Innocent Grey, which is actually the version I played, and it was just Kara no Shoujo. But then this version is the Steam version. This is a newer one. Apparently the translation is supposed to be better. This one is translated by Shirabun. So if you were going to buy it, I'd probably buy the Shirabun one, and then yeah. Just Innocent Grey. Wait, no, it wasn't translated by Innocent Grey. Sorry. Innocent Grey is the publisher of the game. I think Manga Gamer was the first translator of this. Okay. I'm getting it wrong already. I think Manga Gamer was the first translator of Kara no Shoujo. Because Innocent Grey is just the Japanese publisher. Yeah. Manga Gamer. At least I think so. But yeah, it is a really cool name, right? It became a giant soup in my pea brain. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so the newer Steam versions, it's like in 3 parts. But I agree, they have a really cool name. And they have a really cool game. Let me show it to you. Hold on, the settings are a bit funky. Whenever I put it in in full screen, it doesn't let me do anything else. So I had to make sure everything was on my other monitor, because like it doesn't let me do borderless windowed. Okay, let's hop over, shall we? Let me move everything, actually. Let me see. Oh, shoot. Sorry. The audio was, like, overlapping for a second. It was overlapping for a second. Is it loud? I think it's okay now. Also, this game has voices already in it. But I'll go ahead and read it as we go, you know. I'd be reading everything. I know, I swapped over in the 𝙚bgm. Okay. Like Chinese so no one can read? No, because then I won't be able to read it. I was also looking at the settings to see if like there was voice settings, but maybe it's the SE volume. It was kind of like this already. So We'll see how it is. This is the opening shot. Oh, this song. It's been so long since I've heard the music in this game and stuff. Oh, it's gonna be so nostalgic. I'm excited. Anyway, I think the volume's okay now, but let me know if it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and start now. Might. �bgm Part 2, Shin Katsuragi. This Part 1 though. It'll be fine. That's just how it starts. The girl traded a small black egg for a torso, right arm, right leg, and left leg. However, she still lacked a head. She looked all around, but there was no one to be found. Oh dear. What am I to do? Mother will never be whole now, lamented the girl. Even if she managed to get her hands on another head, it could never share her mother's face. So no head. Oh, Mother, where could your face be? She asked a large black egg, but there was no answer. Oh, Mother, my mother in this shell. Could your face perhaps be in there? Once that notion took hold, the girl could wait no longer. She placed the giant black egg on the earth before raising a giant black stone. Cease this at once. You mustn't break the shell. But the mother's voice failed to penetrate the shell and reach the girl's ears. The girl swung the giant stone down. With a resounding crack, the large black egg fractured, pieces cracking off. Mother, where could you be? The girl peeled the cracked egg as she gazed into it. However, all she found was a goopy red liquid. Mother, where are you? The girl stuck her hand into the sanguine fluid and stirred it around, yet never felt her mother's head. The liquid leaked out through the cracks in the egg, staining the surrounding earth crimson with each passing second. No! Mother is spilling out! The girl frantically fell to her hands and knees, but alas, it was too late. The ground had already absorbed far too much of the red fluid. No! No! Mother! The girl wept as she screamed for her mother over and over again. But her mother would never return. The girl sobbed until she had no tears left to shed. Eventually, she rose to her feet, eyes parched as a desert. Alongside her were the black broken egg and her mother's headless body. I must find Mother, muttered the girl, excavating the earth that had guzzled the red liquid, which had once been her mother, before burying the black eggshell and headless body there. And thus, she set out again in search of her mother. Dang, why wasn't her mother's head in the egg? Me when I'm making breakfast. A long journey beginning in purgatory, a grieving soul traverses hell and eventually reaches heaven, or he who seeks the truth and aims for the summit. Oh, isn't this like an abandon all hope, ye who enter here? Well, what language is this? On the bottom, the psychological test. Prefazione. Hi, fisherman. Oh. I enjoy drawing. It whisks me away from the worries of the world. I face the Blank canvas with a blank mind.
私の周りには何もない。人も空気もしがらみも何もかも。ただこの世界に私一人という感覚。鉛筆を動かす。まだ形は見えないけれど。
Tabula rasa.
いつかきっとこの白い世界を私の色で埋め尽くせるような気がし。
Her voice cut off at the end. (1956) January 14th, Moon Age 1, New Moon Spring Tide. We're in church. The auditorium silent as the grave. It might be French. Also, I forgot to say it. Welcome to the house. Yo! That's how tired I was today. I forgot to say it. But then I read the word hell, and I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait, did I say it? Wait, did not. I don't remember anymore. I think I said it. Okay, anyway. The air fraught with tension. I didn't say it. Okay. I just remember saying I'm XP. I'm not fitting the mood here. The girls praying fervently with all their being. The trepidation looming over the auditorium was by no means solely the work of the silence. Before the girls was a giant cross. And they stood in the auditorium of Oba Girls' Academy, which also served as a chapel. Even the cold January air was hardly a specter in their minds, for an even colder atmosphere dominated the room. Yukari Tokisaka gingerly opened her eyes and scanned her surroundings. Everyone was praying to the cross with their eyes shut tight. Yukari soon locked eyes with the student next to her. This is a real drag, huh? It certainly is. Dang, it's kind of quiet. Hold on. The music is so loud. I wonder if, like, this is the... Oh, wait, voice volume is max. Let me turn the game up some more. Because their voices are really quiet. This girl was Suzuriko Yosomiya, one of the few friends Yukari had made in this school. I'm freezing my butt off here. Okay, maybe they're too loud now. Let me see. I made it too loud. Actually, I can just do it over here. You over there, be quiet. The vice principal remonstrated Suzuriko in a low murmur. This face! This, VN, I forgot to say it. It originally came out in Japan in 2009. The first English translation, which is around when I played it, was around 2012. Suzuriko obediently lowered her head only to turn to Yukari and playfully stick out her tongue. Bleh.
戦争より10年が経過し、また新しい年を迎えました。私たちは過去の反省を踏まえ、これから我が国の将来を背負ってゆかねばなりません。
We greet another new year a decade after the war has ended. We must learn from the past as we venture forth, shouldering the future of this nation all the while. The student council president's clear voice reverberated through the auditorium. Mass had ended, and the opening ceremony for the new semester had begun. Orihime Tsukishima, the student council president, sonorously recited her speech in a euphonious voice. Many of her peers looked up to her, and Suzuriko was no exception. Yukari glanced at Suzuriko out of the corner of her eye to find that her friend was hanging on to Orihime's every word. The older girl must have had a certain appeal, though Yukari didn't quite understand it herself.
神の御心のままに我々も精進せねばなりません。皆様、清廉たる意志を持って過ごしてまいりましょう。
We must also show devotion under the Lord's grace. Let us all go forth with pure and pristine hearts. The auditorium roared with applause, and Yukari followed suit for formality's sake.
松組から順に教室へ戻りなさい。
Return to your classrooms one at a time, beginning with Pine class. 2012 was 12 years ago? Yeah. Yeah. The students filed out in accordance to the teacher's instructions. Suzuriko wasted no time running her mouth as soon as they reached the classroom.
ねえねえゆかり、やっぱり織姫様って凛としてて素敵だよね。
Hey, Yukari, Orihime is just the coolest and the greatest, isn't she?
そうね。
I suppose. Yukari didn't fawn over Orihime like Suzuriko did, but she had to admit the older girl had a charm to her that the rest of their peers didn't. Orihime was only a little older than Yukari, yet her charisma far exceeded any of the other students. Yukari had to tip her hat when she realized just how many fans Orihime had in this girls-only school. That included Suzuriko, even though she seemed like the last person Yukari would expect to admire Orihime. Yukari shot her friend a pensive glance. Suzuriko Yosomiya was a bookworm, as well as an author talented enough to be published in popular literary magazines. Are you serious? I forgot this fact about her. What do you mean she's published in literary magazines? She's like the character that's kind of like an airhead most of the time. Wait, that's crazy. I guess it's because they're at an all-girls school. And they're like all accomplished or something? I don't know. This is not what I remembered about her. Though she kept that hush from the school, seeing how their strict regulations forbade anyone from engaging in literary activities such as writing. So this is like 1956 in Japan as well, for like setting purposes. What's more, Suzuriko wrote not only for mainstream fare, but even lewd stories for uncouth magazines. Yukari had never read any of those, as Suzuriko had said she needn't bother, and Yukari wasn't one to disregard her friend's wishes.
ゆかりんどうしたの？私の顔じっと見ちゃって。
Hello? 𝙚art to Yukari. Is there something on my face?
なんでもないわ。
Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. I wonder what kind of tag she writes. We're in the 1950s! It can't be that crazy! Yukari shook her head as she turned away from Suzuriko.
ほら、草加先生が来たわよ。
Oh look, Professor Kusaka is here. Yukari faced the front of the classroom, retreating with that convenient excuse.
皆さん、おはようございます。
Good morning, ladies. Tatsuhiko Kusaka, their homeroom teacher, entered the classroom.
本日授業はありませんが、これからしばらくの時間、学年主任の先生に学生としての過ごし方を指導してもらいます。
Though there are no classes today, the head of the year will be taking some of your time to review how you should conduct yourselves as students. So boring, boring stuff. It felt like school had been drilling educational guidance into the students' every waking moment these days. But perhaps that was only inevitable. After all, 𝙚bgm Girls' Academy had a reputation to uphold. It had been a bastion of learning here in Musashino since the era of westernization, educating many ladies from respectable families. Therefore, its regulations were strict. They ranged from wearing school uniforms off campus to restricting visits to shopping districts such as Kichichoji and Shinjuku without a chaperone. Even minor day-to-day actions such as speaking to US military personnel were forbidden. Yukari didn't mind them. She wasn't the kind to disobey rules, after all. She merely wasn't fond of how often the school wasted her time by making her review them. We haven't even met the main character yet.
聞いているのですか、朽木さん。
Are you listening, Miss Kuchiki? Yukari's head shot up when she heard the teacher's shrill, high-strung voice.
聞いています。
I am. The reprimanded student, Toko Kuchiki, a member of the art club just like Yukari, replied in a dignified manner.
こちらを向きなさい。
Then face forward! It seems Toko had been staring out the window, only glancing at the podium out of the corner of her eye. Toko was an eccentric girl, to put it mildly. That said, even her fellow girls envied her slender frame, smooth skin, and silky sleek black hair as the night.
なんですかその目は。睨みつけたりなんかして。
What's that scowl? How dare you glare at me like that?
睨んでなどいません。
I'm doing no such thing. Toko protested in an aloof tone. She truly hadn't been glaring at all. Though Yukari could only catch a tiny glimpse of her face from that angle, Toko looked as cool as a cucumber, at least from where Yukari was sitting. It was almost like she had no idea she was being scolded. The other girls were elegantly seated, as if they were worlds away, so the sight was almost alien.
そこで立っていなさい。
Stand over there, now! The teacher thrust her pointer at Toko's chest before returning to the podium. Dang, she got in trouble. Yukari's eyes danced around the classroom. In the next seat over was Suzuriko, resting her chin in her hands like she was about to die of boredom, while Toko was hanging her head as she stood, her upright posture quickly faltering.
朽木さん。
Kuchiki. Toko struggled to raise her head. Her face was white as a sheet. Uh-oh, is she okay? And a moment after they locked eyes... Oh, she passed out. The nearest student, Toko's best friend, Toko Mizuhara, darted over to the collapsed girl. I forgot both their names are Toko.
しらじらしい真似を。放っておきなさい。
Such a poor charade. Leave her be.
そんな。
But... Toko raised her voice upon hearing the teacher's curt dismissal. I feel like they should have put the U in her name. Like, they should have spelled her name Touko. But instead, they just put the little dash over it. Alright. Toko? Toko?
私なら大丈夫。
I'm okay. Really. No, you're not! Yukari rose to her feet, unable to just sit back and watch another second.
保健室へ連れて行きます。
I'll take her to the infirmary.
あなたは
And you are?
保健委員です。
A member of the health committee. Yukari walked over to Toko after answering the teacher's skeptical question.
朽木さん。
Kuchiki-san.
ええ。
Thanks. Toko staggered to her feet as the other Toko propped her up on the side opposite from Yukari.
私も。
I'll help too.
いけません。水原さんは席に戻りなさい。
That won't do. Return to your seat, Miss Mizuhara. Dang.
保健室へ行きます。
We'll be going now. Yukari leant Toko's shoulder and left the classroom, the other Toko's eyes boring into the pair all the way. Imagine having like a best friend with the same name as you. Wouldn't that get so confusing? I think you would have to both make like nicknames after a point, you know?
大丈夫ですか？
Are you alright? Yukari and Toko slowly proceeded down the hallway.
うん。ただの貧血だろうから。
Yeah, probably just anemia. That's all. Toko panted, leaning against Yukari.
だからもう戻っても大丈夫。
I'll be okay, really. You can head back now. Her voice is really quiet.
そんな。
No, I could never. Toko didn't look the least bit okay. Dang, it's happened to you guys! You got called this by your surname. She couldn't even stand on her own 2 feet.
もうすぐ保健室ですから。
We're almost there, so don't worry about it. Yukari ignored Toko and brought her to the infirmary. Once there, Yukari lowered Toko onto the bed. Oh, there she is. Toko took a deep breath and closed her eyes.
今保健の先生が来ると思うから。
The nurse should be here soon. Yukari comforted Toko as she straightened out the sheet.
え、
Right. Yukari felt Toko's forehead. It didn't seem like she had a fever.
朽木さん、具合はどう？
How are you feeling, Miss Kuchiki? The door opened and a second later the school nurse, Nene Akazaki, strolled in. Hello, nurse. I hardly remember her.
だいぶ良くなりました。
A lot better. Toko mumbled from under the covers.
では、私はこれで。
I'll be going then. Yukari bowed and was about to leave when Akazaki stopped her.
時坂さん、もうすぐ放課後になるから、ここにいても構わないわよ。
Your class should be over soon. You can stay here if you'd like, Miss Tokisaka.
ですけど。
But I...
朽木さんのそばにいてあげてちょうだい。
Please, stick with Kuchiki-san. Yukari glanced at Toko. The latter was looking back at her with shaky eyes that seemed to scream she could use a friend. Oh.
わかりました。
All right. Yukari nodded and plopped down onto a stool.
ごめんなさい。
I'm really sorry about all this.
ううん、いいのよ。
No, don't be. Yukari smiled at Toko. Everyone felt anxious when sick, no exceptions. Yukari understood that well, since she wasn't exactly the picture of health herself. She was grateful and relieved to have her brother by her side whenever she was bedridden with a fever. Finally! Oh no!
終わったみたいね。
No, that wasn't the cutoff! Guess it's over, huh? Akazaki muttered, facing the desk. Yukari gave Toko a once-over. Toko was breathing peacefully with her eyes shut. Hi, Cygnus. Figuring Toko was in the clear now, Yukari rose to her feet. Toko! Oh my god, you're not supposed to be yelling in the infirmary, other Toko. Suddenly, the other Toko burst into the infirmary.
水原さん。
Mizuhara-san. The other Toko dashed over to Toko's bed, panting like mad. She must have come running as soon as the bell rang. Oh, you didn't know Kara no Shoujo 3 was out? It took a really long time, right? I remember there was like a big gap between like that and like Katargra and everything. But hi, Masta. Hi, P. I've also played it in 2012, so this is like my first time replaying it since. The bell ring sounded like a steel pipe sound, did it?
大丈夫、どうか。
Are you okay, Toko?
え、
Yeah. Toko feebly opened her eyes.
朝食を抜いたのがいけなかったのかな。
Guess I shouldn't have skipped breakfast, huh? Unfortunately, the other Toko didn't look the least bit amused by her joke.
本当に心配したんだから。
You had me worried sick, you know.
ちゃんと食べなきゃダメよ。
You really need to be eating, Miss Kuchiki. Akazaki chided Toto with a small smile on her face.
そうですね。
Guess so. It appeared Toko really had been worried sick about about Toko. Ah. Yukari wondered if it had something to do with how their names were pronounced the same. Though the other Toko was also a member of the art club, she rarely spoke to Yukari in class or during club hours. Perhaps it was because both of them were quiet and inconspicuous creatures. In contrast, Toko stuck out like a sore thumb. It's because everyone thinks she's like the model character of the school, you know? She's like so beautiful. She was more or less the same as Yukari when it came to their quiet demeanor. But Toko Kuchiki's existence resembled a beautiful flower in comparison. She's like a sterling lily in full bloom, Suzuriko had once said of her. And honestly, Yukari understood the sentiment. Toko exuded the air of a one-in-a-million flower no one would ever dare pluck from its roots. The other Toko was the only one who dared to stick with her. Not that Yukari was one to talk when she had Suzuriko constantly by her side. Just then, the other Toko glared sternly at Yukari.
時坂さん、トーコには私がついているからもういいわよ。
Toko has me now, so you can go already, Tokisaka. And she acts like this around her. Hotel TV, nice. Right. The other Toko occupied the school Yukari had vacated and took Toko's hand in her own.
それでは、私はこれで。
If you'll excuse me then. Yeah, she's like, get your own woman. Yukari left the infirmary to find Suzuriko waiting for her.
はい、ゆかりのカバン。
Here you go. Special delivery.
ありがとう。
Oh, thank you. Suzuriko handed Yukari her bag, grinning without a care in the world.
元気なさそうだけど、どうしたの？
Something up? You look pretty down in the dumps.
そう。
Huh? Really? Yukari touched her own cheeks to check, only to belatedly realize there was no way she could tell what her face was betraying by doing so. Touch his face.
気のせいだったかな。
Maybe I'm just imagining things. Suzuriko scratched her cheek with an embarrassed smile on her face. She was probably being considerate of Yukari, a trait the latter greatly appreciated.
ありがとう、つづりこ。
Thank you, Suzuriko. Thus, Yukari thanked her in a voice so quiet that the slightest whisper of the wind would have drowned it out. What's my face saying? I don't know. Oh, I guess we're going to art class now. Yukari went to the art room after saying her goodbye to Suzuriko.
時坂先輩、おはようございます。
Oh, good morning, Tokisaka. A girl already there stood up and greeted Yukari. She was Yui Nishizono, Yukari's underclassman and a fellow art club member.
おはよう、西園さん。
Good morning, Nishizono. Yukari returned the salutations and placed her art supplies on the desk.
時坂先輩も始業式から部活に出るんですね。
Guess someone's just as eager as me to get back to the club, huh?
家にいる間全然描けなかったから。
Well, I couldn't exactly do any drawing at home. Yukari pulled out her pencil and checked its sharpness, wondering if it'd be best to shave it down a little with her pocket knife first.
忙しかったんですか？
Why? Were you busy there?
そうね。物草の兄が年末年始に何もしてくれなかったから。
You could say that, but it's more that my brother was too lazy to do anything around New Year's.
大 大変ですね。
Must be rough, huh? Yui gave her a little shrug in response before splaying her own art supplies on the desk.
両親が亡くなってから随分経つからもう慣れてしまったけれどね。
It's alright. It's been a long time since our parents passed away, so I'm used to it, really.
そうだったんですか。
Well, yeah, sure, but that doesn't mean you have to like it.
気にしなくてもいいのよ。
I'll be fine. No need to worry.
私も似たような。
Oh no, it's just I'm in the same kind of... Yui's words were interrupted by the clattering of the art room's door.
ゆいいる？あ、時坂先輩。
Are you there, Yui? Oh, Tokisaka. A girl peeked her head through the door and bowed to Yukari. Her name was Ayumu Sato, a freshman in the Kendo Club. She stopped by the art club frequently since she and Yui were friends. As such, it was only natural that she'd gotten acquainted with Yukari and the rest of the club.
佐藤さん、剣道部は？
Don't you have kendo, Sato? Dang, that's true. I'm drawing tomorrow. She's like the tomboy character because her hair is short.
今日は休みなんですよ。
We have the day off. Ayumu placed her bag down.
冬休み中ずっと部活がありましたから、始業式くらいは休みにしようって。
We were training the whole winter break, so giving us a breather on the first day of the new term was the least they could do, they said.
ずっとお正月も？
The whole break? Even on New Year's? Wait, that's true. Most of the girls do have short hair.
さすがに元日はお休みでしたけれど、2日からはずっとです。
Well, not New Year's itself, of course, but every day after that. Ayumu said that if it was only a matter of fact.
剣道部って大変なのね。
That sounds tough.
部活動だけだったらいいのだけれど、ずっと先輩に引っ張り回されていたから。
It'd be one thing if it were just practice, but my seniors kept dragging me around everywhere too. Man, that's so Japanese. You just have to do whatever the seniors say, you know? Where's the Hime cut one? I'm the Hime cut one. Well, almost, not quite.
ああ、歩夢は人気があるもの仕方ないと思うわよ。
Oh, I see. Well, such is the price of popularity.
お手洗いにまでついてこなくてもいいと思うんだけど。
I doubt that 𝐚art's following me into the bathroom, though. Apparently, some people were just into that, though Yukari couldn't wrap her head around why. Oh, like girls going to the bathroom together? Yeah, that's just a thing that happens. I don't know.
美術部は休み中に集まることはなかったわね。自主活動だけで。
The art club didn't get together over break. We just drew on our own time. Not that Yukari had actually done any herself, that said.
私は少しだけだったら、みかんとか鏡餅とかのスケッチだけですけれど。あ、そうだ、歩夢。今度モデルをやってくれないかな？
I only did some minor stuff like sketches of oranges and rice cakes. Oh, I got a great idea. Why not model for my next drawing, Ayumu?
モデル？
You want me to model for you?
ええ、もちろんヌードでね。先輩たちには評判になると思うんだ。
Dang, these girls are crazy! Yes, and fully nude, of course. It'll be a huge hit with your club seniors.
別にいいけど、高いよ。
I don't mind, but it'll cost you a pretty penny.
いくらなら脱ぐ？
How much are we talking?
2万円くらいかな。ほら、去年トランジ...
Oh. I'd say about 20,000 yen should do. That's around the price of those transistor radios that came out last year. Yui, that's illegal?
ラジオか。私だったらテレビの方が欲しいかな。
Radios, huh? I'd rather have a TV, personally.
テレビよりも 先月出た電気炊飯器が欲しいわ。兄さんに頼もうかしら。
I'd prefer one of those electric rice cookers they released last month, myself. Maybe I should ask my brother for one? I forgot how Yukari, she says Nissan. Oh, Nissan.
先輩って家庭的ですよね。
You're already shaping up to be the perfect housewife, aren't you?
家にいるとそうなってしまうのよ。
That's what happens when you spend so much time at home.
かもしれませんね。
I guess so, yeah. Yui nodded.
家にいる時でも時間を見つけてカタツムリを描いていればよかったわ。
I wish I'd found the time to draw a snail while I was sitting around the house. Why does this feel like so, like... not what they were talking about? So you guys are silly.
カタツムリですか。
A snail? Yui inched back ever so slightly.
ええ、突然変異で右巻きになった左巻きマイマイを飼っているの。
Yes, I own a mutated false hydra whose shell is clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Oh, Hadra, not Hydra. Get on the Hydra's back!
右巻きで左巻き。
Clockwise, counterclockwise. What? I didn't know that about snails either. Ayumu blinked repeatedly.
時坂先輩は虫とかが好きだから。
Tokisaka here loves bugs, you see. Yui smoothed things over with an awkward smile.
春になればもっと描けるのに。家の近くに大きな池があるから、そこでゲンゴロウやタニシを集めるのよ。
I just wish it were spring so I could draw more of them. We have this big lake near our house that fills up with 𝐚bgm japonicus and pond snails.
ゲンゴロウってなんだかゴキブリみたいじゃありません？
𝐚bgm japonicus? That sounds like a cockroach.
全然違うわよ。ゲンゴロウは甲虫だし、ゴキブリに近いのはむしろカマキリやシロアリだから。
Oh, no, not at all. They're beetles. If anything, praying mantises and termites are far closer to cockroaches.
シロアリはアリじゃないんですか？
I thought termites were ants?
軍隊で行動するところが似ているだけよ。アリの幼虫はウジ虫のような形だけれど、シロアリは成虫に近い外見で生まれてくるの。
The only similarity they share is that they act in colonies. Ant larvae look like maggots, but termites are born looking fully grown.
あまり聞きたくないです。
No more, please! Yui swiftly shielded her ears.
昆虫学の勉強にもなると思うのだけど、残念ね。
Oh, that's too bad. This is a great opportunity for you to learn more about entomology.
そういう問題ではないと思います。
I'm pretty sure that isn't the issue here.
そう？
Oh, really?
とにかくどこかにスケッチに行ければいいのですけれどね。
Anyway, where's a good spot to get some sketching done? Yui hastily changed the topic. Clearly, she didn't share her schoolmates' fondness for insects.
まだ寒いから、写生をするなら春になってからかしらね。
Well, it's still chilly out, so I think we'll have to wait for spring if we want to get any good nature drawings done. Tonikaku mentioned. What's ant bully? Yukari glanced out the window. Though no snow had piled up, the trees had shed their leaves and were shivering in the cold.
ですけど、さっき校庭で朽木先輩が絵を描いていましたよ。
But I saw Kuchiki drawing in the schoolyard just now.
朽木さんが？
Oh, really? Though Toko drawing on her own was nothing new, it was surprising that she'd made a full recovery considering she'd been resting in the infirmary not too long ago.
水原さんはいなかった？
Was Mizuhara with her? Hi, Danny.
水原先輩ですか？すみません。 わからないです。
Mizuhara, sorry, I didn't notice her. Ayumu apologetically bowed her head.
そう。
I see. Yukari stood up and headed for the door, worried about whether Toko could handle the cold by herself.
時坂さん、ちょうどよかった。
Oh, Tokisaka, I was hoping you'd be here.
草加先生。
Professor Kusaka? Yukari swiftly leaned back to avoid bumping into him as he entered the art room.
先ほどの生活指導の印刷物を渡すのを忘れていましたから。これを。
I forgot to give you your educational guidance handout. Here you go.
わざわざありがとうございます、先生。
Oh, thank you for going out of your way for me, Professor. She took the handout and bowed.
朽木さんはまだ保健室ですか？
Where's Kuchiki? Is she still in the infirmary? Kusaka curiously glanced around the art room.
佐藤さんの話では校庭にいるようですけれど、私が渡しましょうか？
Sato said she saw her in the schoolyard. Would you like me to give one to her?
そうですね。
Thanks, I'd really appreciate that. Kusaka passed Yukari another handout.
それではよろしくお願いします、時坂さん。
That's all I needed. I'll see you tomorrow, Tokisaka. Kusaka turned around and left the art room.
ちょっと朽木さんのところへ行ってくるわね。
I'm going to take this to Kuchiki. Alright? Yui looked up with a dazed expression on her face.
はい、わかりました。
Oh, sure, okay.
それじゃあ、お留守番よろしくね、二人とも。
Please watch the place until I get back, you two. Yukari bade her farewells to Yui and Ayumu before heading out to the schoolyard. You think he likes her? Huh? A breeze cut through the broad area. Yukari headed for the shade of the school building, wishing she had remembered to wear a coat. Toko was sitting there face to face with an easel. She was so focused that Yukari simply stood in place, unable to say a word to her classmate. The other Toko wasn't there. She must have excused herself so she wouldn't distract her. However, Toko's canvas remained as white as virgin snow.
朽木さん。
Kuchiki?
ああ、時坂さんか。
Oh. Hi, Tokisaka-san. Toko looked up.
プリントを渡しておいてと頼まれたから。
Professor Kusaka asked me to give you a handout.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
もう大丈夫なの？
Are you sure you should be out here right now?
時坂さんには心配をかけてしまったようだね。
No worries. I'm feeling much better. Guess I nearly gave you a heart attack, huh? Yeah, she's like always aura farming. It's kind of true. That's kind of her character. Toko glanced up at Yukari and shot her a small grin. It was a look that almost stopped the heart of even a fellow girl like Yukari. Kya! Perhaps it was because of her masculine way of talking. Even though her appearance was the epitome of a delicate young maiden, her speech pattern stood in stark contrast to that. Maybe that's why Yukari was taken by that disparity.
まだ何か用？
Need anything else?
何を書こうとしているのか少し気になって。
Oh, no, not exactly. I'm just a little curious about what you were drawing.
そうだね。私にもまだわからないよ。
Good question. Even I don't know yet. Toko stared at the blank canvas.
書きたいものがまだ見つかっていないのかもしれないね。
Maybe I still haven't figured out what I want to truly draw.
焦る必要はないと思うけれど。
I don't think there's any rush if you ask me. It wasn't like this was for homework after all. The art club was a gathering of students who enjoyed drawing. Vice Principal Saeki, the club's advisor, said that all that mattered was that they had fun.
そうだね。ゆっくり考えるかな。
True enough. Guess I'll sleep on it. Toko stowed her pencil and got up. No! What do you mean truck driver? Toko would not sound like that.
時坂さんはこれからどうするの？
Do you have any plans today, Yukari?
私は新宿にいる兄のところに行くつもりだけれど。
Well, I was going to see my brother in Shinjuku. Yukari said exactly what was on her mind.
そうか。お兄さんは探偵だったっけ？
Ah, he's a detective, right?
ええ、家ではあまり役に立たないけれど。
Yes, though he's completely useless at home. Yukari answered Toko's question with a weary smile on her face.
まあいいや。私はもう行くよ。時坂さん、また明日。
Oh, is that so? Oh well, I'll be going then. See you tomorrow. She has no interest.
ええ、また明日。
Yes, likewise. Yukari took the Chuo line from Musashisaki, Sakai, to Shinjuku. School regulations forbade them from visiting any shopping districts. Yet Yukari still visited the area because her brother's detective agency was located in a building not too far from the station. She left through the east exit, bought a dumpling from Nakamuraya, and made her way down a narrow alley. The chic building's postbox read, Tokisaka Detective Agency. This place was run by Reiji Tokisaka, Yukari's brother, though naturally, it only amounted to a single room in this building.
兄さん、いますか？
Are you there, Reiji? The way they translate the names sometimes. I don't know. She said Nissan. I guess it's hard to translate. I don't know. She received no answer. Yukari pulled a brass key out of her bag and put it in the keyhole, figuring he was probably out working. You there, bro? Oh my god, look at his office. Yukari heaved a deep sigh the moment she saw the room. The floor was practically buried under scraps of paper. Furthermore, a murky ochre liquid had been coagulating in a drinking glass on the table for who knows how long. It's a VTuber office. The haphazardly abandoned pieces of toast on the plate were probably moldy at this point. Yukari had been here just before the new year, but her brother had done an impressive job of reducing her efforts to ruin in a short 2 weeks.
少しは自分で片付けることもすればいいのに。
Would it kill him to do some cleaning of his own? Yukari grumbled despite knowing the target of her complaints wasn't anywhere in earshot. She placed her back on the sofa and decided to start cleaning the room. Her first order of business was gathering up the paper on the floor. However, she couldn't afford to carelessly throw any of them away. Some may have been important work documents after all. So instead she crouched down, straightened out the papers, and neatly folded them. Ominous scribblings of words like murder and kidnapping littered the documents here and there. As usual, her brother was throwing himself headfirst into the most dangerous of cases and little else. She wished he'd play it safe and stick to jobs like finding lost dogs instead. Especially considering the man in question had said he was more of a scholar than a fighter. While he had indeed spent time in the military and the police, her brother was still the sensitive type at the end of the day. Yukari stacked the papers on the desk and moved to clean the table next. She took the plate of moldy toast and dumped it in the garbage. Afterwards, she took the drinking glass and poured its contents down the drain and carefully washed it. Several fractured milky white shells were strewn across the sink. Perhaps the liquid in that glass had been eggs. Meaning he was likely drinking raw eggs. A thought that made Yukari cringe. Thus she picked them up and threw them in the trash, gripping them so tight that they cracked with a resounding snap. Hi, Hero.
あとは
Now what? Yukari took another look around the room and found a pile of dirty clothes haphazardly heaped in the corner. She couldn't do laundry there, though, so bringing them home was her only choice.
匂わなければいいけれど
I just hope they don't stink. Yukari grumbled as she folded up her brother's shirts and underwear. She turned around when she heard the familiar clack of the agency door.
あ、おかえりなさい兄さん
Oh, welcome back, Nissan. Reiji Tokisaka. There he is. Okay, this is the main character.
何をしているんだ、ゆかり。
What the heck are you doing, Yukari?
洗って汚れが落ちるかどうか考えていたのよ
I was just wondering if I could get all the stains out.
少しは自分でお掃除したらどうですか兄さん
How about doing some cleaning around here for a change?
忙しいんだよ。
Ask me again when I'm less busy. I gave the first excuse that came to mind before hanging my jacket off a chair and sitting down. A look around the agency revealed that it was a hell of a lot cleaner. No, it'd just gone back to the way it was a few weeks ago. I was one big-ass slob, no questioning that. Picturing how the place would look without Yukari's periodic cleaning sessions gave me the chills.
いつもすまないな。
Seriously though, thanks. Sorry to keep dumping this on you.
いいのよ兄さんはお仕事で忙しいのでしょうから
No need to apologize. I know how busy you are. Yukari finished folding and took out a paper bag.
はい中華まん少し冷めてしまったけれど
That was for him? Oh my god, it wasn't even for her. Here, I got you a dumpling. It's a bit cold now, though.
構わないさ。いただくよ。
It's all good. Thanks. I was starting to get hungry, and Nakamura's dumplings were tasty even when cold, so she'd get no complaints from me.
兄さんお仕事は順調
How's work going, Reiji?
一両日中には型がつきそうだ。
Huh? Oh, good. Looks like I'll have this case bagged in just a few more days. Still hard to hear them. I munched on my dumpling. There was this case involving the murder of a millionaire over his inheritance that I'd been working on ever since the end of last year. I determined the culprit, so all that was left was to notify the police to get that son of a bitch behind bars.
危険ではないの
It's not dangerous, is it? There was a nervous edge to Yukari's voice.
ただの調査に危険なことなんてないさ。
It's just an investigation. No risk involved. Soundtrack going hard. I gave a disarming smile. No job was ever safe for certain. You never knew around which corners danger was lurking. I knew a guy who'd been reduced to Swiss cheese over a simple infidelity investigation. Well, that's pretty serious. I don't know. Even searching for a lost cat had its fair share of risks.
だったらいいのだけれど
I sure hope so. Yukari didn't sound any less tense. It seemed she didn't have much faith in me. Though it was my fault for losing her trust to begin with.
帰るか、ゆかり。
Ready to go home, Yukari?
お仕事はもういいの
Don't you still have work to do?
年が明けてから帰ってないからな。仕事の方は問題ない。
Well, I haven't been home since the new year, so I'll just put it on the back burner for tonight. Job's not going anywhere, right? He hasn't been home since the new year? That means he's just been sleeping in the office, probably.
でしたらこれは兄さんが持ってくださいね。
And then, please, carry this home. His laundry. Yukari handed me my clothes, now wrapped in a cloth.
いくら冬とはいえ、これだけ放置していたら匂ってきそうだもん。
It may be winter, but you're gonna stink up the place if you leave this on the floor. Yep, this one was on me too. Dang. Oh, it's our house. If you took the JNR line from Shinjuku to Nishi Ogikubo and headed due north along the Zenpukuji River, you'd find the Tokisaka residence. Yukari and I had lived there all by ourselves ever since we lost our parents in a plane crash a few years prior. Honestly, I didn't really spend much time at home to begin with. Yukari opened the door and headed inside.
お洗濯物は脱衣所に置いてくださいね。
Please, put your laundry in the dressing room.
その前に着替えてくる。
Sure thing. Let me just get changed first. I left my clothes in the living room and slid open my door to my room. It was freezing. Hardly a shock considering the place had been uninhabited all day. I quickly donned a kimono and brought my old clothes back to the living room.
夕飯は鶏鍋でいいかしら。
Is chicken and vegetable hot pot alright for dinner?
ああ、任せる。
Sure, sounds great. I mindlessly answered and tried to pass Yukari to take a bath.
お風呂に入りたいのでしたら、ご自分で沸かしてくださいね。
If you want to take a bath, then please heat it yourself, okay?
分かってるよ。
Yeah, I know. I bundled my kimono up and shivered from the cold as I waited for the gas boiler to start spewing hot water. Bath scene. Just kidding, they skipped it. After taking a piping hot bath, I returned to my room to kill some time reading. My thoughts turned to ancient Rome. This is before the meme. Like all men do is think about about ancient Rome. As I flipped through a book about history of the Gallic Wars. Ah, the Roman Empire. Though I'd read this one more times than I could begin to count, I always felt like I found something new each time.
夕飯ができましたよ。
Dinner's ready. She's so cute in her kimono. Yukari was at the door. She changed into her kimono as well. Steam and a rich aroma wafted from an earthenware pot. Within were chickens, scallions, bok choy, crown daisies, and cognac noodles. I had to admit I was a bit disappointed that there weren't any shiitake mushrooms, though. I love shiitake mushrooms. I love, what is it? The lion mushrooms? I forget what it's called. In their stead were 2 boiled eggs floating in the broth.
さあ、いただきましょう。
Shall we eat? Yukari put her hands together and bowed her head. Though she attended a Catholic school, the side of her was pure Japanese through and through. This side of her. I dipped the chicken in a small dish of ponzu. The dish exuded a cozy heat in my stomach, warming me from the inside out. Oh, hot pot is so good.
熱燗でも一杯やりたい気分だな。
Wish we had some hot sake to go with this.
そんなことを言っても、我が家にお酒はありませんよ。
You do remember that we don't keep alcohol in the house, right? Yukari's face was totally deadpan.
気分だってだけさ。
Just saying it'd be nice, that's all. I talked back as I noisily slurped up the noodles.
ごちそうさん。うまかったよ。
Thanks for dinner, it was great.
お粗末様でした。
You're welcome. I returned to my room and smoked a cigarette as I leafed through some documents I'd brought home from work. Murders and lies had been constant bedfellows ever since Cain killed Abel in Genesis 4. This very case, the murder of a man by his elder brother, was a testament to how little mankind had changed since then. Many rich families got into squabbles over their parents' inheritance. Umineko. Unfortunately, the Tokisakas weren't exactly rich, so the only real inheritance our parents left us was this house and mountains of books.
おかげさまでうちは家族円満だ。
Thanks to that, we're a happy family.
そうですね。
You're right. Yukari entered the room and nodded.
そろそろ寝ます。
I'm going to bed now.
ああ、おやすみ。
Sure thing. Night.
兄さんも夜更かしなどせずに早く眠ってくださいね。
Please, don't stay up too late yourself. Get some sleep as soon as you can.
子供じゃないんだから。
Hey, I'm not a kid, you know.
おやすみなさい。
Good night. Yukari closed the door and left. I stubbed out the stump that was my cigarette in a nearby ashtray.
寝るか。
Oh, we're not going out? Okay. Guess I'd better hit the hay. I got up and rolled my futon out of the closet. A few moments later, I curled up under the covers inside. I'd have to report the details of my investigation tomorrow.
明日は日曜か。
Oh, right. Tomorrow's Sunday. Well, whatever. That guy would still be in, knowing him. After all, there was no leisure for the poor, be they detectives or police inspectors. I shuddered off to sleep while regretting the fact that I hadn't brought a bed warmer into the futon with me. The next day, January 15th.
やれやれ。
Man, oh man. I heaved a deep sigh and collapsed onto my chair as soon as I returned to my office. No sooner did I finish handing in my investigation report did the police saddle me with another job.
あの野郎。元同僚とはいえ、俺を便利屋か何かと勘違いしてるんじゃないのかな。
Sure, we used to be buddies on the force and all, but does that bastard think that makes me his personal handyman or something? I grumbled with a cigarette in my mouth as I checked a document detailing my new job.
世の中は愛も変わらず殺しばかりか。
World's the same murder playground as always, huh? I was gonna drown under all this work at this rate. It seemed that there had been a shooting in Shimorenjaku, Mitaka, that it ended with the death of all the managers of a small local factory. What? Oh, wait. With the death of a manager. Of the manager of a small local factory. I figured it was probably the work of some gangsters. A decade had passed since the war, and the reconstruction that followed was still ongoing. However, there just wasn't enough land to build large factories and new residential districts. Thus, some short-sighted individuals on the seedy underbelly of society assumed they could steal the land if they got rid of the landowner.
とはいえ、裏付けも取らないとならないからな。
Still, I'm gonna need some proof to back it up. I got up and put on my coat. Much as I didn't like walking around in the cold, being a detective was all about dealing with the harsher side of life, though that didn't change how it seriously sucked. First order of business was questioning the locals, narrowing down the suspects, and then investigating with the intent to arrest. Seemed I had another busy year ahead of me. It's already the next day? Hello? That was fast. I went home after finishing my Investigation in Mitaka. Oh no, it's still the same day. It's just the end of the day. A savory aroma drifted from the kitchen. Yukari must have beaten me back.
Tadaima, Yukari.
Yukari, I'm home.
おかえりなさい。
Welcome back. Yukari poked her head out of the kitchen. Her face looked somewhat pale.
どうしたゆかり？風邪でもひいたのか？
Something wrong, Yukari? You're not coming down with a cold, are you?
そうではないけれど。
No, not at all. It's just... Yukari trailed off and resumed cooking dinner, a glum expression still etched into her face. Though I was curious, I knew my sister well enough to realize she'd eventually bring it up on her own.
兄さん。
Reiji. Yukari finally broached the topic right after dinner, just as I had expected.
何かあったのか？
What's up? I set down my cup of coffee.
ええ。部活の後輩のことで、昨晩から家に帰っていないらしくて、心配で。
Well, the thing is, I'm worried. It sounds like one of my clubmates hasn't been home since last night.
家出じゃないのか？
Did she run away from home? It was fairly common for girls her age. Youth had always been about getting worked up over things that would seem hilariously trivial in the hindsight of adulthood. Damn, I must be getting old myself to be thinking along those lines. Oh no!
親御さんは捜索願いを出したのか？
Have her parents contacted the police?
それがわからないの。出しているとは思うんだけれど。
I don't know. I think so, but...
だとしたら、あとは警察の仕事だ。
In that case, it's in their hands now.
兄さん。
Reiji! Yukari stopped me a steely glare, opening her mouth for a stern admonishment. What? It's my job to find missing schoolgirls?
いいか？一回の探偵にできることなんてごくわずかなんだ。行方不明者の捜索ならば、人数を多くかけられる警察の方がずっと確実だ。
Listen, Yukari, there's only so much a single detective can do. The police are far more reliable when it comes to finding missing people. What with their sheer advantage in numbers and all.
そうかもしれないけれど。
I get what you're saying, but still... Yukari turned to Meek as she was about to counter. She must have gotten my point.
そう心配しなくても、すぐに帰ってくるだろうさ。
Don't worry, she'll be back before you know it.
ええ。
Right.
俺も仕事の合間に調べられるだけ調べてみるから、心配するな。
And rest assured, I'll look into it too, every chance I get.
よろしくお願いね、兄さん。
Thank you so much, Nissan. Alright, is it Monday now? January 19th. The sun set in the west, casting a vermilion cloak over my surroundings. Now then, where to? Oh, here we go! You can actually make choices now. So you can like go down the train line, and you can choose where to go. We're gonna go to Moon World first. Oh, Shinjuku Station, you can go there too. This is where the detective agency is. Moon World! The place I headed to was just past the remnants of the black market north of Kichichoji Station. I arrived at my destination, Moon World. It was a small cafe right outside the shopping district. The joint was highly regarded for its tasty coffee and pastries, by the handful who actually knew of it anyway. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have been aware of it either if my old friend didn't run the place.
いらっしゃい。あら、時坂くんじゃない。
Welcome. Oh, well, if it isn't Tokisaka. The woman working the counter smiled when she saw me.
俺じゃ不満なのか？
Got a problem with that? The woman, one Kyoko Hazuki, shrugged and chuckled drolly.
だって時坂くんはコーヒー一杯でいつまでも粘るんですもの。
With a man who only ever orders a single cup of coffee and loiters around? Not in the slightest. Dang! She's kinda good. For all her sarcasm, she was clearly in a good mood.
そのコーヒーを一杯頼む。
Well, get a load of this twist then. I'll have a cup of coffee.
いいわよ。焼き菓子もあるけれど、どう？
Sure, coming right up. Why don't you try a piece of cake or something while you're at it?
いや、もらおうか。
No, Actually, on second thought, that sounds good. I hastily made a verbal backstep.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Kyoko brewed up some coffee, engulfing the cafe in a mellow fragrance. Dang!
そういえば、さっきまで魚住くんがいたのよ。
Oh, by the way, Zumi was here just a second ago.
やつが？
No kidding. Uozumi was our mutual longtime friend. He was always dropping by this place.
仕事の途中で寄ったみたいよ。
Seems like he was in the neighborhood for work.
まあ、あいつも忙しいだろうからな。
Well, you can always count on him to be busy if nothing else. I lit a cigarette. Clearly not busy enough to forget to make this his habitual sojourn here, though. That said, I wasn't one to talk, given he was only busy thanks to yours truly. Kyoko set a porcelain cup of coffee in front of me.
お待ちどうさま。
Here you go.
悪いな。
Thanks. I slurped the steaming coffee. I always took it black. No sugar, no milk, no nothing.
はい、カステラ。好きだったでしょ？
And here's some castella. You like it, right?
ああ。
Yeah. I wasted no time taking a bite out of the cake.
コーヒーはブラックなのに、カステラは甘い方が好きなのよね。
It sure is funny how you like your coffee black and yet your sponge cake's sweet. That's like the best combo though. You can't really have sweet coffee and sweet pastry at the same time. It doesn't really taste good because one will always taste sweeter than the other. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to have like bitter coffee with like a sweet thing. Because then it makes the coffee and the sweet taste better.
ごついなりして砂糖を何杯も入れるやつよりいいだろう。
Better than a guy who pours truckloads of sugar into his joe while looking like he's got a stick up his ass. Not that we knew one like that. Definitely not.
あら、飲み方は人それぞれじゃない。
Now, to each their own.
だったら俺の飲み方にもケチをつけるなよ。
Then quit nitpicking how I take my coffee.
つけてないわよ。ただ確認してみただけよ。
I'm not. I was just making an observation. Kyoko smiled as she picked up the piece of cake.
今度、新しい従業員を雇うつもりなの。
Oh, while we're at it, I'm planning to hire some help soon.
この閑古鳥が鳴いている店に必要なのか？
Help? What? For the 10 customers you get a day?
もう、時坂くんがいない時間は一人だと結構忙しいのよ。
I'll have you know this place is plenty busy when you're not around. Kyoko pouted.
知り合いの娘さんでね、社会経験を積ませてあげたいんですって。
Anyway, there's this acquaintance of mine who's hoping to give her daughter some real-world experience.
使えるのか？
Think she'll actually pull her weight?
よそのお店でお手伝いとかはしたことあるらしいから、心配ないと思うわよ。
I doubt that'll be a problem. She's already helped out at a shop. At least from what I've been told. Then why does she need more real-world experience? What a bitter old man. Sugar song told bitter step, yeah. Maybe her mother was the type who just wanted her child to know their way around all sorts of jobs.
また何か考え込んでるでしょう。
Is something on your mind again?
いや、大したことじゃない。
Oh no, it's not a big deal. I smiled at the sight of Kyoko inflating her cheeks.
仕事のこと？
Does it have to do with work?
まあそんなところだ。
Something like that. I figured it was best to just play it vague.
あまり根を詰めない方がいいわよ。疲れていると正常な判断もできなくなってしまうから。
Don't push yourself too hard. People who burn out are no better than drunkards at making the right choices, you know? Kyoko was painfully aware of that, far more than anyone else. She had lost her husband 7 years prior, the original owner of Moonworld. He'd worked himself so hard that he ended up in a car crash. The other driver was apparently an American soldier stationed at Green Park in Musashino, only he survived. Death by car accident. That was how the official documentation had reported it. That was all. Just those 4 words. The US military handled the investigation, so I never learned how it turned out, even though I was with the police at the time. What's more, they didn't even return Kyoko her husband's body. I could only imagine how much grief that brought her. Though I'd lost my parents in an accident around the same time as well. It happened so far away that it didn't quite hit so hard. However, I was so skeptical about the cause of death that I tried to use my position in the force to unravel the truth. Sadly, it was a total bust. The US military refused to play ball, and I was even forced to call off the investigation. That was just what it meant to be on the losing end of a war. Though maybe it was only a matter of course, considering the incident only happened 4 years after the conflict.
まだ何か考えてる。
You've got that thinking look again. Hi, Instance. Kyoko poked my brow.
いや、随分といい時代になったと思ってな。
It wasn't anything special. Just chewing over how much better we've got it nowadays.
いい時代かしら。
What do you mean? Kyoko cocked her head.
少なくとも10年前から比べればよくはなっているだろう。
Well, what I'm getting at is, don't you think we're in a better place than we were a decade ago?
比べてしまえばそうかもしれないわね。
If all we're doing is comparing the two, then yes, perhaps.
あの頃の方が楽しかったかもしれないけれどな。
Though it must have been more of a blast back then.
ユキコがいたから。
Because you had Yukiko?
さあな。
Maybe. I brushed aside Kyoko's question and turned away after lighting another cigarette. Oh, who's Yukiko? Who dat? I think this one is linear, but sometimes I feel like your choices have consequences. Because I think there are game overs in this game. Like, if you make the wrong decisions, like, the game can just be like, nope. Because, like, you spend time doing this, but I think the game is linear. Oh no, MC with dead wife? It's more common than you think. A short way south of Kichijoji Station was a pond enwreathed by trees. Hi, Sen. Yeah. This was Inokashira Park. Oh my god, I wanted to go to this park for so long because it exists in real life. Oh, there's this scene with the bench. Oh, it's so perfect. Like, people have taken pictures there and everything. Oh, it's beautiful. There were few to no people around, probably because it was a winter weekday and getting late. Naturally, there were no food stalls present either. Shame. I'd been craving some takoyaki.
さて
Okay. I hadn't come to take a break. The shooting I was investigating took place not too far from here. Heck, the factory in question was visible between the trees. I took out a sketch of the crime scene the police had provided me and compared it to what I was looking at. Surprisingly, I've actually never been here. Which is so strange to me, I know. I'm such like an airhead. I've like written down that I've wanted to go here so many times and I've just never gone. Yeah.
こりゃ厳しいな
Damn, this is gonna be rough. Cause it's not like a one-to-one, like the same in the game, you know? But... makes me think of the joke of a Japanese person visiting America and crying over a picket fence like in King of the Hill. Wait, is that real? That's so awesome! Yeah, that's the place where they go... da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. There have been a lot of other places in Japan I've gotten to visit that have made me cry though, so... maybe I'd been jumping the gun to assume this was the work of gangsters. No, it was a joke from the guy who visited Japan and cried over a normal alleyway, like in manga. Oh. Did I ever tell you guys I cried when I went to Akihabara the first time? It was very emotional for me. Very, very emotional, like for an otaku, you know? I don't know. It was just like as soon as the train station said like Akihabara, I like started bawling. Oh. I turned towards a splash I'd suddenly heard. Ripples spread from the center of the pond. Had something fallen in? I spotted a man with a popped coat collar on the opposite shore hoofing it. What? You Narukami Persona 4 with his popped collars. Uh-oh. Who the hell is that? Something smelled fishy. I prepared to give chase only to stop when I realized where he was going. Isn't that... I glanced back at the pond again. The ripples had already faded. There was no way anyone could reach the center from the shore, no matter how hard they tried.
寒中水泳なんぞできるわけねえだろ
I'm sure as hell not taking a dip when I'm already freezing my ass off. So I figured it was best to just leave it to the experts.
戻って他の資料をもう一度洗ってみるか
Guess I should head back and skim through the rest of the case file. Does he actually think there's a person in the lake? I don't know. You would see like bubbles, right? Especially the part regarding the victim's relatives. Just as I was about to grab a bite to eat... What the hell? His office already messy again? It's been 2 days!
おうレイジ邪魔するぜ
Hey there, Reiji. Thought I'd drop in. A mountain of a man suddenly opened the door and waltzed right on in. This is our bro.
なんだ魚住いきなりだな
Oh, it's just you, Ozumi. What's this all about? Dude, he's so tall, he's out of the frame! This was Kyozo Uozumi. He looked like a thug. Though he looked like a thug, he was in fact an inspector at the MPD. Shocking, I know. I couldn't live with him, nor could I live without him. Much as I hated to admit it, we'd been stuck together ever since we were brats, even during the war and my tenure in the police. Though I'd eventually ended up quitting the force first.
何しに来た？
What do you want, man?
何か分かったことがあるのか聞きに来た。
Came to see if you sussed anything out.
何かあったらこっちから連絡を入れるさ。
I'll call you once I'm sure.
まだ何も分かっちゃいねえってのか？
Still nothing then.
いやいや、うすうすと分かってきてはいるんだがな。
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. I lit a cigarette.
現状に問題があった。被害者の町工場の周辺はすでに更地になっている。そこで発砲などあれば、どうしても周囲に響き渡る。
There's a problem with the crime scene. The area around the victim's factory is full of vacant lots now. So there would have been a huge echo if any guns got fired.
まあ、そうだな。現に付近の住人も発砲音を聞いている。
Yeah, that adds up. The locals reported hearing the gunshot.
だろう？何事かと思って外に出た人もいるだろうな。現場から立ち去る人影を見た奴はいるのか？
Right? There would have been people who had gone to find out what happened. Was anyone seen leaving the crime scene? Uozumi shook his head.
目撃者がいれば、てめえに捜査なんぞ頼まん。
Wouldn't have asked you if there were.
顔は見えなくても、背格好である程度は犯人を割り出せるだろうからな。
Makes sense. Even if no one saw a face, could still have made some inference from their hide after all. The ashes of my cigarette fell into the ashtray.
警察に通報したのは被害者の家族か。
Was it the victim's family who reported the crime?
ああ。外車と同居している息子夫婦だ。息子が倒れている外車を発見し、その嫁が警察に通報してきた。
Yep. The victim's son and daughter-in-law were living with him. His son found the body while his missus called the police.
その息子夫婦は工場の売却には賛成していたようだな。
Looks like the two of them sold off the factory. All according to plan, huh? Sold off the factory? Already?
おい、レイジ。
Whoa, hold the phone, Reiji. Dread crept into Uozumi's voice.
息子は調布飛行場の米軍基地で働く真っ当な人間だぞ。
The son's a straight arrow, who works at the US military base in the Chofu airport.
つまり拳銃程度ならいくらでも入手できるな。
So essentially, it would have been a piece of cake to get his hands on a pistol. I stubbed out my cigarette.
確か今年中に米軍基地の一部が返還されるだろう。そうすりゃそこで働く人間は大幅に削られる。金はあった方がいいだろうさ。
Part of the base will be Japanese property again this year, right? Meaning a lot of people who work there were gonna get laid off. Who wouldn't rather have a nest egg stashed away? Uozumi stroked his well-defined chin. The motive.
いや、しかし証拠がない。
Yeah, but we don't got dirt on him.
井の頭公園の池をさらってみな。俺の予想が正しけりゃいいもんが出てくるぜ。
Try dredging the pond in 𝙚Park. Pretty sure you'll find something quite interesting there.
わかった。鑑識に伝える。
Gotcha. I'll drop forensics a line. Uozumi headed for my phone. While I always credited him for being quick on the draw, he did realize that was going straight into my phone bill, didn't he? Would it have killed him to ask first? Don't use my phone! I have to pay for that!
おレイジ、もう一件仕事を受ける気はないか。宗教絡みの詐欺師の調査なんだが。
Hey, Reiji. Feel like taking on another job? You'd be looking into this religious con artist. Uozumi asked as he covered the receiver.
そういうのは上野の探偵に回してやれよ。危険が少ない仕事を探しているようだったからな。
Ask the guy in Ueno instead. Seems like he's always looking for low-risk jobs. A fellow detective from my police days had come to mind.
所帯を持ってから守りに入ったのか？
Taking no chances now that he's got a family, huh? Uozumi hung up the phone and turned back to me.
嫁さんが妊娠しているらしいからな。心配かけたくないんだろ。
Must be because he's got a kid on the way. Probably doesn't want to worry his wife. Dangerous jobs were for those who didn't have much to lose after all.
で、晩飯はどうする？月世界にでも食いに行くか。
Anyway, what do you want to do about dinner? Moonworld sound good? Uozumi practically coughed up a lung after hearing that.
てめえ、なんでわざわざ吉祥寺まで行かねえとならねえんだ。
You bastard! What makes you think I'm gonna drag my ass all the way over to Kichijoji to get some grub?
じゃあいいぞ。俺一人で行く。
Hey man, you're lost. I'll just go by myself. I smirked teasingly, staring at Uozumi.
いや、俺も行く。現場に行くついでだからな。
No, I'll join you. But only because it's on the way to the crime scene. Uozumi's face was as red as a lobster. God, it was so easy to push his buttons. Oh, he likes Kyoko.
そうだな。京子の飯はうまいからな。
Good answer. Kyoko's food is out of this world after all.
関係ねえだろ。
That ain't got nothing to do with it. He's spitting everywhere. Gross. Whatever, I was too hungry to give a damn. That's gross after the way Reiji lives. Oh shoot. Hatred. It was what consumed my every waking moment. I hated people, myself, everything in the world. And above all else, my mother. Why did I have to be born into such a filthy world? It was all my mother's fault. That reincarnation of a tainted soul was ruining everything. Poor me. Miserable me. And it wasn't just me, either. I was sure everyone else, from classmates to teachers, to dogs and cats, were just as miserable. They had to be. However, there was one thing that set me apart from all of the rest. And it was that I had her. I could live because I had her by my side. Everything about her put my heart at ease. From her eyes to her hair, to every little thing she did. It was because of her that I possessed hope for the future. Perhaps I wouldn't be miserable because I had her. After all, I was about to go see her. The moon was beautiful. She loved the moon. And so, I loved it too. She appeared beneath the moonlight. I felt my body heating up. Phantom Castle.
"白い紙なんてなかったから古新聞を広げて印刷された文字も気にせずにちびた鉛筆で書いた。何を書いていたかは覚えていない。きっとその頃の私に聞いても答えられなかっただろう。ただ書くことが楽しかった。
I just love drawing, plain and simple. She just loves drawing. POV chain Kyozo Uozumi? Really? I forget that you get to play as Uozumi. Well, I guess we gotta see what he finds. He's the police person in this part anyway, so... Uozumi's bloodshot eyes and twisted scowl betrayed his irritation at being summoned to 𝙚logo Park first thing in the morning. He was probably just tired, but regardless, Everyone steered clear of him. Angry big guy.
初動措置は済んでるんだろうな。
Have you wrapped up the initial investigation? Uozumi grabbed a nearby police officer by the scruff of his neck. Oh my god!
はい。鑑識課の方も到着しています。
We have. Forensics is here too.
そうかい。
Good. Uozumi let the officer go and stepped over the rope, cordoning off the crime scene. He'd grown used to seeing corpses in his line of work, which was why he wasn't all that surprised with what he found waiting. Be that as it were, I couldn't just leave the body out in the open for prying eyes to see.
鑑識はどこだ？
Where's forensics? So getting right down to business was his best option.
こちらです。魚住巡査部長。捜査の準備は整っています。
We're right here, Sergeant Uozumi. We're ready to examine the scene.
おう、気になるところを調べていくぞ。
Great. Let's see what kind of fishy shit we can find. Ooh, scary. What that? A body had been dumped by the shore. However, it was difficult to make out from afar, meaning a closer inspection would be necessary.
現場は井の頭公園のど真ん中か。
So the crime scene's right in the middle of 𝙚Park, huh? Uozumi looked around. Though it was in the heart of the park, the spot was shrouded by trees. Uozumi would have to get closer to figure out more. Okay. What about this area? No, okay. Oh, we have to zoom in. Okay. What the heck is this? I know Steam definitely has a censored version, so I don't remember full version. Full version, the bodies might be worse looking.
おう、この布切れはなんだ？
Hey, what's with this cloth? Uozumi pointed to the black cloth blanketing the corpse's arms. Yeah, like what is this? They had to have edited out the like actual body, I think.
遺体を包んでいた布のようです。妙なことに両腕だけがこいつにくるまれていました。
The body was wrapped in it, or rather, only the arms, oddly enough. Okay. Seemed any further details would have to wait on forensics. Okay. I think that's all we can look at here.
腕だな。
Arms, huh? And they were rotten to hell and back. The decomposed flesh exuded a foul reek.
腕だけがこの黒い布に包まれていたようです。
Seems only the arms were wrapped in the black cloth. I think if you miss parts too, I think the game also doesn't like that. Like if you miss any details in the investigation section, it gets mad at you because like you didn't figure everything out, and so you can like lose the game. Okay, I think that's it. That's gotta be it. We got the arms. We got the location. We got this. Yeah, that has to be it. You lost the game, yeah. Okay. It felt like there was still more to look into. What? Oh, okay. This? The pond was surrounded by a keep out rope. Naturally, it was to keep civilians away from the crime scene. Okay. There was nothing unusual about that spot. Okay. We did get closer. Okay. Not that spot. I wanted to like check the lake or something, or like have him comment on the lake, but it didn't seem like there was anything there. Was that it? Was that all they wanted?
腕だ。
べっぴんさんは台無しだな。
I think because the bad parts are edited out of the game, it's hard to tell what to click onto. Because normally it would be more detailed, right? What a waste of beauty. What does that mean? We can't actually see the body. I know, it's censored so much. What a waste of beauty. Though the head had decayed significantly, there was still just barely enough to identify it as a girl. Her eye sockets had hollowed, the plethora of holes gnawed into her face by wriggling white maggots. Yeah! See, this is what you're not seeing.
足は付け根から切られているのか。
So her legs were severed from the hip down? Two legs were sprawled across the ground. Parts of them festered with maggots squirming about.
やれやれ、たまらねえな。
Damn, this ain't a pretty sight. Okay. Okay. So this is supposed to be the arms then, and then something was like happening here that we looked at already. Uozumi's nose stung with a fetid stench as soon as he unfolded the cloth.
宇治まで湧いてやがる。死んでから随分と時間が経っているようだな。
Goddamn maggots crawling everywhere. Must have died a while back.
ウジの成長具合から見て、この時期だと2週間近く経っているようですね。
Judging from the size of the maggots, it would have been about 2 weeks. The forensics officer picked up and studied a centimeter-long maggot before giving his analysis.
2週間か。その間ずっとここに仏さんがいたわけはねえな。
2 weeks, huh? No way in hell the body was here that long. Meaning the murder must have happened somewhere else. Though the body's severed limbs and head were littered haphazardly across the dirt, the torso was nowhere to be found.
おう、胴体はどこだ？
Hey, where's the torso?
まだ発見されていないようです。
Seems it hasn't been found yet.
そうか。
Wonderful. It'd be a headache for everyone if it got dumped into the pond. No need to search this area. Wait on the forensics people. Damn, it's so hard to play this censored. That better be it. Okay. That should be it, right?
目はいるのか？
Alright. Any witnesses?
第一発見者は今朝公園内を散歩していた近所のお年寄りです。この人は昨夜もこの辺りにいたらしく、その時は何もなかったと言っています。
So glad I don't deal with this despite working in forensics. Yeah, I think it would be pretty hard to deal with, honestly. You really have to have like a tough mind, you know, to work doing this kind of thing. Just the old man who found the body on a stroll through the park this morning. He testified that he also took a walk here last night, but saw nothing then.
すると夜中のうちに運ばれてきたってことか。
Meaning the body must have been brought here in the dead of night, huh? It was hard to imagine the culprit had dismembered the body at this very spot, considering the lack of bloodstains. What's more, the trains wouldn't have been running that late at night, so the murder had happened nearby, or the culprit used a car to transport the victim.
こんなもんか。
Guess that's all I'm gonna get. Uozumi figured he'd turn over every stone he possibly could. Rest was a job for forensics. With his investigation more or less finished, Uozumi left the crime scene and lit a cigarette.
仏は解剖に回して身元その他を調べてもらえ。あとは周辺の聞き込みは任せたぞ。
Haul the body over to the coroner and get an ID ASAP. The rest of you interview the locals and see what you can learn.
わかりました。
Understood.
了解であります。
Roger that, sir. The forensics officer started gathering the body parts as the cop left. Uozumi had done his duty here. He could see a small factory through the trees. It had been the site of the shooting that had taken place near the dawn of the year. In the end, Reiji's deductions had been right on the money. They'd found a pistol in the pond, and the victim's son confessed to his father's murder after they'd raked him over the coals a little. Wait, it's already February! When we started the game and we were saying that, it was like January 17th or something. Dang. Though it wasn't exactly a laudable way to conduct a police investigation, Uozumi found it far preferable to letting the killer slip through their fingers. The motive had indeed been money. It irritated Uozumi that Reiji had been right about that too, but regardless, the case had been closed.
この山にも食いついてきそうだな。
This case seems right up his alley. Though he never said why, Reiji Tokisaka had a pathologically zealous hatred of brutal crimes such as murders. Perhaps it had something to do with the case that driven him to leave the force. Uozumi decided not to take that train of thought any further. Not just for Reiji's sake, but because he wasn't good with the whole thinking thing in general. Uozumi had taken a veteran investigator's words of "inspectors investigate with their feet" to heart. Still, that didn't mean he was reckless. He had enough common sense to avoid crossing the line into foolhardiness anyway. However, when all was said and done,
次からはレイジのやつに任せるか。
maybe I'll ask Reiji if it happens again. Reiji had always been the thinker of the two since they were kids. The thinker. By the time Uozumi had finished questioning the locals after his on-site inspection, the sun was already setting.
腹減ったからな。
I'm starving. He made the point of saying that. Though he'd seen a body just hours before, he still had an appetite. He'd left his sentimentality on the battlefield over a decade ago. And his heart had only hardened during his time in the force. Uozumi weaved his hulking body through an alley north of the station until he reached a sight for sore eyes. He could forget all about work here. After all, this wasn't the sort of cafe where he could openly discuss macabre corpses.
いらっしゃい、魚住くん。
Hey there, Uozumi.
おう。
Hey. His voice got deeper. Uozumi returned his old friend's greeting and sat by the counter, silently cringing at the subsequent creaking of the stool beneath him.
コーヒーでいいかしら。
Would you like some coffee?
ああ。
Yeah. He's speaking in one-word sentences. Kyoko turned her back to Uozumi. His eyes were mesmerized by her ponytail swaying back and forth.
今日もお仕事だったの？
Did you have work today?
ああ。
Yeah. Uozumi gave a curt answer and whipped out a cigarette. He knew he'd be leaving nothing but an awkward silence between them otherwise. It wasn't long before the mellow aroma of coffee mixed with the stench of smoke. Uozumi found the vibe here calm and relaxing. The kind of place where he could just leave behind all the horrors he witnessed on a daily basis. Moonworld was the sole haven in his otherwise hectic life.
お待ちどうさま。
Here you go. Kyoko set a cup of coffee down in front of him with a clink.
Oh.
Thanks. Uozumi reached for a sugar bowl and dumped spoonfuls of sugar into his coffee. And though he wouldn't say he had a sweet tooth, he and coffee just didn't go together without something to offset the acidity. But that said, he couldn't drink alcohol while he was still on the clock either.
トーストくらいしかできないけれど、食べる？
Would you like some food? All I really have is toast right now, though.
ああ。
Yeah. He wasn't boorish enough to ask for something Japanese under present circumstances.
少し待っていてね。
Coming right up. It wasn't long before the savory scent of toasted bread tickled Uozumi's nose.
昔は魚住くん、日本茶ばかり飲んでいたわよね。
You know, I remember you used to only drink tea back in the day.
そうだな。
That's true. His answers were terse.
好みが変わったのかしら。
Have your tastes changed then?
かもしれねえな。
Maybe. Uozumi bit into a slice of buttered toast. Buttered toast. Ooh, like a dessert toast sounds so good right now. Toast with some butter and maybe like a little like sugar and cinnamon on it. Oh my god, why does it sound so good? Kyoko chuckled as she poured Uozumi another cup of coffee.
私も昔はお茶ばかりだったわ。コーヒーを飲み始めたのは、そう、このお店に来るようになってからかしら。
I used to be a pure tea drinker. It was only after... Right. It was only after I started coming here that I added coffee to my palate. Kyoko surveyed the cafe, eyes glistening with nostalgia and sorrow.
昔の話はやめろ。
Let's not talk about the past. Uozumi cut her off with a low grunt.
そうね。ごめんなさい。
You're right. I'm sorry. Uozumi was relieved to hear that Kyoko didn't sound quite so heartbroken anymore. Nothing good came from dwelling on the past. Though memories were supposed to glamorize with time, Uozumi and his friends only found their pasts lingering stronger and darker than ever, like the ever-approaching specter of death. Especially Kyoko and Reiji. Perhaps Uozumi had gotten off lucky compared to them. He hadn't lost that much after all.
帰る。邪魔したな。
I'm gonna head out now. Sorry to bother you.
邪魔だなんて。また来てね、魚住くん。
You're no bother. See you again, Uozumi. Uozumi turned his back to Kyoko and waded out into the ever-darkening night. Two hasty drunkards staggered in front of him.
邪魔だ!
Out of my way! Uozumi pushed aside the quailing men and made his way towards Kichijoji Station. I mean, he's really big, so no one's gonna fight him, and he's a police officer, so I guess he can do that. Haven't had that since I was a kid. It sounds so good though, right? I haven't had it in a while either. He envied them. He would positively kill for a drink right now. But he had enough escapism for the day. Uozumi popped his collar and marched through the frigid February air. Oh. The white silhouette of a stark naked girl shimmered in the dark like the moon on the blackest of nights. Her rosy nipples heaved up and down. She was asleep. No, unconscious. A gloved hand lightly squeezed her arm. It was perfectly meaty and springy. No complaints there. The girl's wrist and elbow were unfurled, her armpit clenching up in a meager show of resistance. However, she slept peacefully, which was proof that she'd only fought back unconsciously. Moments later, a leather strap was wrapped around the girl's waist, securing her to the table. Next, her arm was restrained to the edge in a similar fashion. This should do. Finally, the room shuddered with the hoisting of a hatchet sitting in the corner. The blade seemed somewhat chipped, but it wouldn't impede the task ahead. Steady hands firmly grasped the haft, setting the edge of the cold steel against the girl's shoulder. It dug into her flesh slightly, but hardly enough to leave a mark. Alright, here we go. And a moment later, the silence marking dominion over the space came to a violent end. The air ruptured with the girl's voiceless scream. A moment later, the hatchet tip dug into the table. The girl's left arm slackly dangled. The fierce grip behind the hatchet came into play, forcing the blade through sinew and bone. The arm crashed down on the floor, trailed by crimson spurts of blood. The girl screamed even louder, flopping up and down on a table like she'd been electrocuted. Good thing I tied her down. The girl's arm, still convulsing and spurting blood onto the floor, did not remain there for long. It was wiped down with a brand new towel, dyeing the fabric burgundy in the blink of an eye. We don't need this blood. It took towel after towel until the arm that had been severed from the abhorrent body was as pristine as sparkling glass. Careful hands wrapped that amputated appendage up in a cloth. Now then. A pair of eyes turned their attention to the weakly convulsing sack of flesh. The girl had long ceased screaming, emitting raspy sounds akin to air hissing out of a punctured tire instead. Gloved hands eventually made their way around to the girl's legs, unfurling them. However, she no longer had the strength to resist. The table was damp with a liquid that wasn't blood. It appeared she'd voided herself. I'm not reading that! Oh no! Oh, disgusting! A knife was pressed against the girl's abdomen. The blade danced across her fair skin as though gutting a fish. A red stream flowed from her navel down. She was cleaved all the way. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, I don't know how Livina played rants on stream. Because that's even worse. The girl exhibited no reaction. The spurting of her blood quickly died down. Fingers crudely seized that organ unique to woman, driven by the hope she hadn't died just yet. Oh, her uterus was small enough to fit in the hand. An attempt was made to drag it out of her body, but since it was still attached to parts here and there, the task proved difficult. A knife slid into the incision and detached, yep. A few more quick cuts later, it was ripe for removal. The soft, flabby white mass hardly seemed like an organ that nurtured life. It was nothing more than giblets, a lump of meat. Not even a moment later was it hurled to the floor. There was no need for such impure entrails. Afterward, an outstretched arm grabbed an egg. A chicken's egg painted black. The string attached to it was cut off, followed by the egg's insertion into the incision. Next, the gloved hand crushed it to pieces. The egg's contents must have already been evacuated, for the shell broke apart without the slightest show of resistance. What is happening? I told you it was scary. The arm linked to that clenched fist pulled out with a sickening squelch. Next, said hand put the pieces of egg still clinging to the glove back in the rest of the viscera before pressing down on the abdomen. Finally, a needle was threaded and stitched the incisions shut. The needle pierced her skin over and over again, drawing a crooked cross atop her abdomen. This should do. Why do I feel like scary is a bit off? No, it's scary! A nod for a job well done was quick to follow the end of this crude surgery. All that was left was to dump the body. The air shook and resounded with the gust created from the hand flipping through a book. The brain severing as its master pondering what punishment was appropriate for this individual. The lump that had once been a living, breathing girl was promptly wrapped in a black cloth. Time to go. This is why it's a horror murder mystery. I'm sorry for your dinner. I'm sorry. Uozumi, rudely awakened by a phone call right before daybreak, drove his newly issued Toyo Pet squad car over to Tama Cemetery in Fuchu. A dense fog cloaked the graveyard. Uozumi loudly stomped on withered branches as he ventured further in. Oh, it's already March! Dang! Time is going by so fast! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
ここか。
That's gotta be the spot, huh? Several police officers had already gathered. One of them saw him and saluted. You just missed it, Steve!
お疲れ様です。
Good to see you, Sergeant.
おう、どうなってんだ？
Same. What are we looking at? The officer gestured towards the rest of the assembly.
あ、第一発見者は付近の住人です。昨晩遅くにここで何かが燃やされているのを発見したとのことです。
Sir, the corpse was first discovered by a local who claims he saw something burning here late last night.
で、仏はどこだ？
And the body?
こちらです。
Right here, sir. I don't think they're gonna show that much. It's been super censored. The officer led Uozumi over to the corpse. A grim tension was palpable throughout the cemetery. It was highly unlikely that a run-of-the-mill burned corpse could have produced such a baleful atmosphere. There had been far too many disturbing murders recently. That wasn't even getting into how they still weren't any closer to unraveling the mysteries surrounding the dismembered body from the other day.
嫌な感じだ。
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. A noxious odor bored into Uozumi's nostrils. It was the stench of a battlefield. The stench of a village seared to a crisp by incendiary bombs. The stench of when one of his war buddies had burned to death in battle. That unpleasant fetid of an object permeated with machine oil, which smelled different from meat cooking on a grill.
どうぞ、ここです。
Here it is. The officer's voice brought Uozumi back to his senses. His eyes turned to where the man was pointing.
なんだってんだ、こいつは。
What the hell? What he witnessed defied all understanding. They totally removed the body from here. You can't see anything. The sight was absolutely baffling to a realist like Uozumi. There really had been far too many murders as of late. It was way too much for him to handle by himself.
やつに任せるか。
Maybe it's time to call in the cavalry. Truly baffling, the body is invisible. A certain detective who only ever stuck his nose into crimes like these came to mind. Yep, this case was perfect for Reiji Tokisaka. Oh, 私を本当のね? Wait, I can't read that first part. Wait, you guys can't see it! Why is it a white screen? Oh my god. It's like showing a cutscene. Can you even see it? Oh my god, you can't see it. No! Why doesn't it work? Hello? Oh. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can hear the music. Yeah, the game just stopped like showing anything though. I know, but it's like the opening of the visual novel sequence. Why would it stop working? Yeah, we can't even see the white screen anymore. I know! I'm baffled. I don't know what to do. I could try showing you my actual screen, but I'm embarrassed if I do display capture and it's wrong. Hold on. No. Doesn't work. Try for the lols? It doesn't work! Does it? Oh. No! It doesn't show up even normally on OBS. Huh. Because if I do display capture, it's just gonna show you me on VTube Studio. That's so weird. Thanks, game. I love that. Oh, it works again? Alright. Maybe I can find the...
初めて絵筆に触れたのはいつだったろうか。
Hold on.
父が所持していた古くて筆先が固まったものを見つけたのが最初かもしれない。当然絵が描けるはずもなく、ただ振り回していただけだった気がする。きちんとした絵筆を手にした。
Only much later, when I started formally studying the art of painting, that I finally wielded a proper paintbrush. When I firmly grasped it, it felt as though I'd opened a door into a new world, a vivid, colorful world that the likes of which didn't exist around me. I don't know why that happened. I guess it's two separate instances. Yeah, I don't know. We're back to being ragey. I wonder if I could, like, find the opening. To be honest, I didn't even watch it myself because I was staring at my OBS trying to figure out what was going on, so... Don't worry, you guys didn't miss anything. It was just, the visual novel opening to signify that things are starting now. Yay! Anyway, we're back. I, Reiji Tokisaka, was drafting a report at my detective agency in the heart of Shinjuku. I summarized the details of the case with a cigarette in my mouth and the occasional swig of whiskey. The case in question had been rather standard, all things considered. A rich man was murdered and his son was arrested. However, the son kept claiming innocence. Thus, I cleared his name by finding proof that the father had in fact taken his own life. With that, it was a wrap. I scrawled the son's name in the client box, concluding the report. I reclined against my chair. After getting a much-needed stretch in, I stubbed out my smoke, pulled a new one out of my cigarette carton, and lit it up. Dang, one after the other? He's just as bad as the chain smoker cat! I guess this is how people were acting in the 1950s though, huh? Smoking inside? Ugh. The smoke rose up before being dispersed by the ceiling fan. That was it. Case closed. My job was done. What's more, it paid pretty decently, so I wouldn't have to worry about going hungry for quite some time. Nice! In hindsight, though, I felt like I'd been working non-stop the past 3 months. Between the murder case over inheritance, the factory eviction murder, and a murder spawned from trouble in the red light district, I'd hardly had a moment to myself. This world just revolves around murder, huh? It's true, he did all of that in like 3 months. That's like three or four murder cases in 3 months? I spat those words out with a puff of smoke. Sad as it was to say, the world has degenerated into a rather savage place. You could say that again. Yet, ironically enough, it was that very facet of it that provided a living for people like me. After all, where would detectives be without the misfortune of others to feed upon?
しばらく休みってのもいいな。
I could really use a vacation. Fortunately, I had no other cases on my plate at the moment. Going home and letting my hair down was sounding really appealing. Oh, no, because Uozumi's gonna bust his door down, like, right now. Then what the heck am I still doing here? I quickly packed my things and left. Oh, no, not quite, I guess. The Tokisaka Detective Agency was located in a building that could be reached through a narrow alley behind the Isetan department store near Shinjuku Station. This area could hardly be called the epitome of law and order, what, with unlicensed brothels a stone away and all. A stone's throw away. I taped a piece of paper on my door and wrote closed. If urgent, please come to the following location, and scribbled down my home address. What the heck? Oh, I guess he said he was gonna take a vacation. I guess he's just taking a staycation. That way, there'd be no issues if I did happen to get a client during my brief sabbatical. Though whether they'd be willing to make the trip to the outskirts of Suginami or not was on them. I highly doubted anyone would target a detective agency with nothing valuable inside it for robbery. And even if they did, it wouldn't be long before they left empty-handed in disappointment and disgust.
まだ時間は結構あるな。
Still got plenty of time to kill. I took a look at my pocket watch. Getting home was easy enough, but just a simple trip down the Seibu line to Kamishakuji, but I figured I'd take a little detour first. I passed by Kinokuniya and made my way to the JNR's very own Shinjuku station. Though it'd gotten a lot warmer lately, the passerbys were still wearing coats. Weaving my way through the crowd to the station's ticket counter, I bought a ticket to Kichijoji on the Chuo line, passed through the gate and boarded the train. Let's go. It was already 11 p.m. by the time I reached Kichijoji. After walking through the station's north exit, I passed by the shopping district founded on the remains of the black market until I reached my destination. It all goes back to Moon World. A place with pretty good coffee and pastries. I came here quite often, even though there were plenty of cafes closer to my agency. The fact that it was run by an old friend of mine still played a very large part in that.
すみません、今日はもう閉店で。
I'm terribly sorry, but we're closed for the night.
京子、俺だよ。
It's me, Kyoko. She's closed! They're closed!
あら、時坂くんだったの。
Oh my. If it isn't Tokisaka. The woman, Kyoko Hazuki, stopped wiping the counter when she saw my face.
コーヒーもらえるか？
Could I trouble you for some coffee?
今からだと入れ直すのに時間がかかるけど、いいかしら。
It'll take some time for me to brew up a new pot, just so you know. Is that fine with you? Kyoko gestured to the empty coffee pot.
時間がかかるのなら、そうだな。焼酎のお湯割りでいいぞ。
If that's how it is, I'll settle for some shochu with some hot water.
そう？それじゃあ、私ももらおうかな。
Is that so? I'll have some too in that case. It's always so crazy. If you guys ever go to a bar in Japan, like, I mean, I guess I don't go to bars in America, but you can like buy the people there like drinks and they'll drink with you. Cause it's like such a small place kind of thing, most of those places. It's very interesting. I like her ribbon, yeah, the yellow. It's very anime. Kyoko turned around and pulled a bottle of shochu off the shelf.
飲んでもいいのか？
Sure you should be drinking? She just closed her shop.
だって、もうお店は閉めちゃっているもの。
Well, I've already closed for the night, so I don't see what the problem is. Kyoko added some shochu to 2 glasses full of hot water. I've never tried it like this. Sounds kind of like a unk way to drink it, you know, with hot water. The twin liquids mixed within.
はい、どうぞ。
Here you are. I took the glass from Kyoko after she emerged from behind the counter. I know hostess clubs, they're different, but like even regular bar workers sometimes, like you can buy them drinks and stuff and they'll also drink. Like it's like part of their job. It's like kind of interesting. She tried to sit on a stool only to find an apron hanging off of it. Oh, bunny garden.
あら、あの子ここに置いていっちゃったのね。
Oh dear. So she left it here, huh?
あの子
Who are you talking about? Yeah, I think it's to like provide atmosphere. I took the bait and gave in to my curiosity.
ええ、この前雇った新しい子。前に話したでしょ？
The new girl I hired the other day. I told you about her, right? Oh yeah, I think she might have mentioned that. That was like 2 months ago.
住み込みだし、部屋にいるから呼んでくる？
She's living here now. Wanna meet her? She's living here!
いや、今度でいいさ。もう夜も遅いからな。
Nah, I'll save it for next time. It's getting kinda late. I tipped my glass and gulped down the mild shochu.
そう？
That's too bad. I did not read that as curtly. Kyoko answered curtly before sipping her own concoction.
おいしい。
That hit the spot.
そりゃ、カストリ焼酎とは違うだろうからな。
Well, I mean, why wouldn't it? Unless you settled for that moonshine stuff instead.
当たり前じゃない。ちゃんとした麦焼酎よ。
Of course not. It's distilled from authentic barley.
わかってるよ。
Yeah, I know. I placated Kyoko after her cheeks inflated in indignation. Cute.
あまりお酒は出ないお店だけど、それでもいいものを揃えているんだから。
We may not serve much alcohol here, but that doesn't mean I settle for anything less than first rate.
わかってるさ。もう酔ったのか？
I know. Yeesh, are you plastered already?
まさか、このくらいで酔うわけないじゃない。
Heavens no. I'd be out on the streets if this was all it took. Kyoko glanced down at her glass as she spoke.
酔いたい気分になることはあるけれどね。
What I wouldn't give to get tipsy every once in a while, though. Her voice was barely a whisper.
そうだな。
Well, that makes 2 of us. I nodded. With the shitty hands life kept dealing us, it was only natural that we want to drown out our sorrows every now and then.
まあ、今は忙しくてそれどころじゃないけれどね。
Then again, I'm too busy to even find time for that. Kyoko acted cheerful, as if trying to weed out the darkness creeping into her heart. But that was perfectly fine. It wasn't like I'd come to trade sob stories again.
お仕事は順調？
How's work going?
そうだな。一件片付いたからしばらくは暇になろうと思ってる。
Pretty good. Think I finally found the chance to take a little break.
それがいいわよ。仕事のしすぎで体を壊しちゃ元も子もないから。
I'm glad to hear it. Pushing yourself is pointless if it ends with you crashing and burning.
心配しなくてもそんなことにはならないさ。
Don't worry, I'd never let that happen.
だといいんだけれど。
I sure hope so. Much as I wish Kyoko didn't look so worried, I could hardly blame her. Not after how she lost her husband anyway.
休めるうちに休んでおいた方がいいわよ。
You should rest up while you can.
ああ、わかってるさ。
Yeah, I know. I gulped down the last of my shochu and got up.
帰って寝るわ。いくらだ？
I'm gonna go hit the hay. How much do I owe you? I whipped my wallet out as I got ready to leave.
今日はサービスしておいてあげる。私も飲んだしね。
Don't worry, it's on the house. I had a drink too after all.
気にしなくてもいいぞ。入金があったから懐には余裕ある。
I appreciate the sentiment, but it's fine. I just got paid, so I'm good for it.
私がおごりたい気分だったのよ。
No, really. I'm feeling generous.
そうか。それじゃありがたくおごられることにするよ。
That right. Then, I think I'll take you up on that.
ありがとう。
Thanks for indulging me.
また来るよ。おやすみ。
See you. Good night.
ええ、おやすみなさい、時坂くん。
Good night, Tokisaka. I left the cafe as Kyoko saw me off.
もう電車は動いていないよな。
Pretty sure the trains have all stopped by now. Oh well, my place wasn't that far on foot from here anyhow. I whipped my body into action as I made my way through the wintry city, the warmth of shochu fueling me onward. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I truly did love her. I loved everything about her. Her legs, her hips, her fingers, her head, her eyes, her hair, all of it. She was the perfect specimen, who stood tall, well above heights that scum like me could ever dream of reaching. And yet, she still deigned to descend down to my level. If only one thing held true in this world, it was that she was there for me.
風が気持ちいいね。
The breeze feels great, doesn't it? I glanced at the side of her face as she leaned against the fence surrounding the pond, her voice ringing through my ears like a psalm. Her silky smooth hair, obsidian as the night, danced elegantly in the wind. It framed that face as immaculate as a doll's, the beguiling expression of a goddess brimming with vigor. Many a time had I been struck by a fancy to kiss the lips that rested upon that vision of beauty, but I knew I couldn't. After all, neither she nor I was homosexual. What? And really, there was nothing more I feared than incurring her distaste. If she ever came to hate me, I would have nothing left. I didn't care if the rest of the world hated me. It was no secret even to myself that my presence was met with disdain by the student body. I was just another face in the crowd, a nobody amidst a gaggle of wealthy heiresses who wouldn't even bat an eye at being called princess. The daughter of a poor pigment refiner could never have hoped to speak as an equal to such girls. Day after day, I constantly wondered what I was even doing there. But even that changed once I met her. It finally dawned upon me that fate had brought me into this world solely to meet her.
どうしたんだい？
What's up? Her voice interrupted my thoughts. Though her voice was clearly that of a maiden, her choice of words were those of a man. The stark contrast was an irresistible facet of what made her unique. That sounds like something similar to someone we met earlier.
なんでもないわ。
Oh, no, it's nothing. I couldn't very well admit that I'd been thinking of her, much as I longed to with all my heart. I feared that would spell the end of our relationship. Yeah, it's Toko times 2.
見てごらん。月が綺麗だよ。
Oh, you can't just say that. That's like saying the moon is pretty is like code word for like I love you or something, right? Take a look. The moon is pretty. She pointed up to the sky. A slightly waning moon was poking its head out between a gap in the clouds.
そして湖面に映る月もゆらゆらと揺らめいてなんとも幻想的だと思わないかい？
And just watch how its reflection dances across the pond. Isn't it so magical? I beneganed.
ええ、とても。
Yes. Very. I nodded. She was a part of the landscape I could see. Not even the Renaissance masters of old could ever hope to replicate the pure spectacle of seeing her, the moon, and the pond together.
そして君も。
And that goes for you too. Suddenly, she held my face in her hands. Huh? Simple touch from her was all it took to set my heart ablaze.
そうだね。綺麗な瞳だ。
Yep, that's right. Your eyes are pretty. Her face was right in front of mine. I could feel her breath caressing my lips.
髪も伸びたね。私たちが出会った頃はもっと短かったのに。
You've really grown your hair out, huh? It used to be shorter when we first met. She wrapped my hair around her fingers. I yearned to be like her. That was why I started growing my hair out. I wanted to resemble her as closely as possible. That way, I could catch her eye, even if only for a fleeting moment.
でも、私、癖っ気だから、お手入れが大変で。
But I've got curly hair, so it's a hassle to groom.
それはいけないな。今度私が使っている洗髪料をあげるから試してみるといい。
Well, that won't do. How about I let you use my shampoo next time? Can't hurt to try, can it?
本当？
You really mean that? I shot her face a skeptical look.
嘘をつく意味がないじゃないか。
What good would lying do me? She smirked, looking every bit like a mischievous kitten. I wanted to embrace her. I wanted to hold her and feel all that she was. I wanted to know her.
そろそろ帰ろうか。
We should probably be getting back now, don't you think? She spontaneously uttered those words of parting. The time had come for the carriage to turn back into a pumpkin.
もう少し一緒にいてもいい？
Can't we stay together a little longer? I didn't want to say goodbye. I didn't want her to leave me. I wished for nothing more than to savor the time we had all to ourselves, for the sands and the hourglass to halt, so as to perpetuate this moment.
仕方ないな。それでは家まで送っていきましょう。お嬢様。
Ojo-sama! Oh my god. I swear, what am I going to do with you? So be it. Your steadfast knight shall escort you home, Ojo-sama. And with that playful jab, she took my hand and gave me a little peck on the fingers. I don't know. She seems pretty homosexual to me. That simple little gesture drove me to paralysis so profound that I couldn't even so much as look her in the eye. March 4th. I sat up in my futon and stretched out as I woke up. I'd gone to bed right after getting home last night. My every pore had sagged with exhaustion, though I couldn't tell if it was from all the stress of work or if I was simply beat from the drink and walk home. Either way, I felt alive again. I checked my pocket watch on my desk to find it wasn't even 8 a.m. yet. Just as I was considering lazing around in bed all day, my senses were overwhelmed with a savory aroma wafting in from the kitchen. Yes! Breakfast! My stomach growled greedily not even a moment later.
朝飯できてるのか?
I wonder if breakfast is ready. But right after I got on my knees and was about to grab the door, it slid open on its own.
おはようございます、兄さん。
Good morning, Nissan.
ああ、おはよう、ゆかり。
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Yukari. My sister Yukari loomed over me.
朝食はいりますか?
Would you like some breakfast?
腹は減っているな。
Sure would. I'm starving. Yeah, cause my dinner last night was cigarettes and Shoujo. Hardly any point pretending otherwise.
そうですか。でもその前にきちんと着替えてくださいね。昨晩帰ってきたまますぐに眠ってしまったのでしょ?
I'm glad to hear that, but please go and get changed first. You went straight to bed as soon as you got back last night, didn't you? Confused by my sister's random moment of omniscience, it took a moment to realize I was still decked out in my slacks, dress shirt, and socks.
さすがにネクタイは外していたんだな。
Well, hey, silver lining, I took off my tie.
シワだらけじゃないですか。洗濯しますから脱いでください。
Just look at these. They're all wrinkled now. I'll wash them, so please, take them off. Yukari reached for the buttons on my shirt.
自分でするからいいって。
Come on, I could do it myself. How many times do I have to tell you? I doubted I'd ever live down the shame of getting stripped by my sister.
兄さんの服はそこにありますから。
Oh, by the way, your clean clothes are right there. Yukari shot a glance at a neatly folded kimono in the corner of the room.
脱いだ服は脱衣所のカゴに入れておいてくださいね。
Please, just put your dirty clothes in the dressing room hamper, alright? After saying that, Yukari left me in peace. Oh, brother. No, that's you. Haha. Had she no shame? As the only family she had left, I gravely feared for her future. What? She's like the perfect housewife! I heaved a deep sigh and started changing. Breakfast was already on the table by the time I emerged into the living room clad in my kimono. Warm steam billowed from the sliced salmon and rice. Ooh.
さすがにまだ寒いな。
I'm still freezing. I huddled my shoulders and sat down.
そうですか?
Really? Yukari cocked her head as she carried over some piping hot miso soup.
今朝は随分と暖かいと思いますけど。
I think it's rather warm this morning myself.
あんな格好で寝ていたせいかな。
Sleeping in my clothes probably didn't help.
かもしれませんね。風邪薬出しておきますか?
Perhaps. Would you like some cold medicine?
いや、それほどでもないさ。飯食おうぜ。
Nah, it's not that bad. Let's eat. I reached for the food to alleviate the momentary concern and anxiety I glimpsed in Yukari's eyes. I didn't have a cold, and I could take a little chill. I broke down the salmon using my chopsticks while flipping through the morning paper with my free hand.
兄さん、食事中ですよ。
Reiji, we're eating now. Please put that away. No scrolling your phone at the dinner table.
すぐ済むさ。
I'll only be a second. Huh? A small article in the corner of the paper caught my eye. It concerned a murder. According to the article, a woman's body had been found in Tama Cemetery. What's more, the authorities had yet to successfully identify her, despite their best efforts.
相変わらず物騒だな。
World's as savage as ever.
つい先日も井の頭公園で遺体が発見されたそうですよ。
Speaking of which, I heard they found a body in Inokashira Park just the other day. Yukari's shoulders slumped.
学院でもいなくなった子がいるのに。
A girl at my school even went missing too. Oh, she has like tears in her eyes.
お前も気をつけろよ。
Watch yourself, okay? Yes. Yes, of course. It was truly a savage world. Maybe taking Yukari to and from school at least while I had this time off would be for the best. To get here from Oba Girls Academy, Yukari School, you had to cut across Musashino from Suginami until you reached the edge of Hoya. Though within walking distance, it was a rowdy area. What with all the US soldier residences along the way.
ところで兄さん、お仕事はしばらく休みにするのですか？
By the way, are you going to take some time off work, Nissan?
そうだな。何かあったら別だけど、当分は家で羽を伸ばすさ。
That's the plan, yeah. It'll be a different story if something new comes in, but for now, I'm gonna kick it back and relax. And thanks to the note I'd left, any potential clients would just come here anyway if they had urgent business.
そういうことでしたら、事務所の掃除は行かなくとも良さそうですね。
Then I suppose I won't have to go clean the office for the time being.
まあ、そうなるな。
Yeah, I guess not. Just leave the moldy toast that's already in there for like 2 or 3 more weeks. It's fine. I flashed back to the state of my office. It was still fairly clean at the moment, if my memory served me right.
家にいらっしゃるのでしたら家事なども。いえ、やっぱり結構です。
While you're home, it would be great if you could help with the chores as... On second thought, never mind. Yukari gave up on that idea before she'd even finished voicing it. Not because she was the old-fashioned type who believed chores were a woman's job, mind you. She just didn't trust me, plain and simple. If I had any talent for housekeeping, then I would have been cleaning my office myself, believe me. Not that it was something to be proud of. I didn't know where I'd be without Yukari, I swear.
ごちそうさん。
Thanks for breakfast.
お粗末様でした。
You're welcome. Yukari got up after we bowed our heads.
兄さんはこれからどうなさるのですか？
What are your plans for today?
書庫にでもこもることにするよ。
Figured I'd hunker down in the library or something.
わかりました。それではお昼ご飯ができたら呼びますね。
Alright then. I'll call for you when lunch is ready. Yukari took the plates and headed off to the kitchen. Guess that's my cue. Oh, library. Our historian parents had left a ton of books behind after they passed away. I'd been roosting in this place and perusing anything I could ever since I'd learned how to read. Thanks to that, I'd stocked up on a metric ton of knowledge in exchange for killing my eyes. Even now, I still hold myself up in here whenever I had time.
兄さん、コーヒーはいかがですか？
Would you like some coffee, Nissan?
ああ、ありがとう。そこに置いといてくれ。
Oh, thanks. Mind putting it here? I pointed Yukari over to a spot on the table.
お茶菓子もありますから、どうぞ。
I also brought some snacks. I hope you like them. Yukari set a plate of pastries down before leaving. Dang, pastries and coffee after breakfast? Now then, this is like the perfect life. I picked up a random book off one of the shelves, sat myself down, and flipped it open. I took a long drag of a cigarette in the living room after lunch.
兄さん、お暇ですか？
Are you free now, Nissan? Yukari sauntered over after she'd put the plates away.
残念だが、俺はこれから書庫にこもるつもりだ。
Hate to break it to you, but my schedule's packed with reading time in the library.
つまりは暇なんですよね。
So you're free then. Yukari ignored me and held out an empty coffee bag.
お暇そうな兄さんにお仕事の依頼です。家事で忙しい妹に代わってコーヒー豆を買いに行っていただきたいのですけれど、い
いかがでしょうか。
Since you're all dried up on work at the moment, I have a job for you. Could you find it in yourself to go get some coffee beans for your dear sister? She's ever so busy with chores right now. Her smile concealed venom that left no room for argument.
月世界のでいいのか？
From Moonworld, right?
ええ、よろしくお願いしますね。
Yes, thank you very much. Yukari tried to push me out the door with a smile.
おい待てって。もう少しのんびりさせてくれよ。
Whoa, hey, hold up. Can't you give me 10 more minutes?
だって兄さん、放っておいたらいつまでも行きそうにないですから。
But if I leave you to your own devices, those 10 minutes will turn into 10 hours, won't they? That's kind of true. Crap, she got me. やられた。
兄さんは考えていることがすぐ顔に出るからわかりやすいわ。
You know, you're fairly easy to read for a detective. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Yukari chuckled as she shoved the money for the beans into my hand.
じゃあ行ってらっしゃい、兄さん。
Make sure you have a safe trip, Nissan.
やれやれ。言ってくれよ。
Oh, mother of... Yeah, just give me a second. I donned my coat and left the house at Yukari's urging. Though it wasn't cold enough to see my breath, it was still pretty chilly. I straightened out my collar and huddled up as I made my way over to Moonworld. It was only half an hour from home to Kichijoji Station at a leisurely clip. However, I'd felt a strange presence behind me for some time now. No, ever since I left the house. I was being tailed. It seemed my stalker was maintaining a set distance, making sure not to stay too far or too close. They hid behind walls and slipped between passerbys, but they were definitely following me all the same. I hadn't turned around to check, so I had no idea who it was. Maybe it's time to give them the slip. Moonworld wasn't too far from here, but it seemed dangerous to let my stalker know my destination. So I decided to pass through the station and head for 𝙚logo Park. I could probably shake them by taking a lap or two around there. I pushed my way through the crowd as I entered a narrow alley in the remains of the black market, taking care not to tip off my pursuer. I finally reached 𝙚logo Park after traversing the local alleys several times. The place was full of families and pairs who happened to be couples. Made sense with it being Sunday and all. I no longer sensed anything strange behind me. Surely I'd shaken them by now. I took a look back to be safe, but saw no one suspicious. Bro put his home address on the door of the office though. I know! I'm the exact opposite of this, by the way. I think I've told you guys this before. I'm so paranoid. I look in both directions like every single time. Like every single time I go anywhere. Like when I leave my house, when I open my door, I look left and right. Like, I know if someone's around me. Damn, now that was an adventure. Not that I even understood why anyone would tail me to begin with. Still, I'd end up wasting a lot of time and energy thanks to them, so I figured I should take a little breather first. I headed deeper into the park, the crowds growing sparser and quieter with distance. And this was a spot I frequented whenever I wanted to kill some time. Hardly anyone ever visited the area, making it a great location to help gather my thoughts. Plus, the perfect place to take a nap. Not that I planned on getting any napping done in the crisp March air, of course. Oh, someone's already here? A girl was sitting on the bench that commanded a fabulous view of the pond, her long ebony hair quietly dancing in the breeze. She appeared to be wearing a school uniform. She must have been a student then. The uniform was white, an oddity in this day and age. Thanks to that, I recognized it right away. That was an 𝙚Girls Academy uniform, the same place Yukari went. It was hard to believe that she'd be in this place all by herself, considering the school's strict regulations, yet there she was regardless. Just then, she suddenly turned around.
Yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This is the CG. There she is. This is the bench. Oh my god. Hey, her voice was light and clear as a bell.
君は
And you are? The girl stared straight into my eyes. It appeared she hadn't called out to me by accident after all.
随分と遠回りをしたのだね。おかげさまで足が棒になってしまいそうだよ。
You gave me quite the workout, you know that? Now my legs are killing me, thank you very much. She showed off her long, slender legs.
つけていたのは君か
So you're the one who tailed me, huh? I figured that much from her choice of words, but why she followed me was still up in the air.
どうだった？
So, how'd it feel?
何が
How'd what feel?
探偵が尾行される気分さ。
Hi, Batsu. Yeah, you came at a great time. Getting tailed. Must be a first for a detective like yourself, right? She said that ever so casually.
なぜ俺が探偵だと
What makes you think I'm a detective? It kind of gives me the chills to hear that from a total stranger, not gonna lie. Obviously, she knows your sister! Come on! Not to mention the fact that keeping your profession a secret was Detective 101. A blown cover only made it that much harder to do your job.
あなたの家からついてきたからね、時坂さん。
Because I've been following you since you left your house, Tokisaka. Ah, creepy.
まあ俺の家まで来ていたのなら名前を知っている理由もうなずけるが
Well, I get how you'd know my name if you were by my house. What exactly did she want? I couldn't even hazard a guess.
それで、私の尾行はどうだったかな？
So, how'd I do?
最悪すぎるくらいに合格だ
Good enough to make me want to puke. And here I thought I'd given her the slip. The girl giggled and rose from the bench. A moment later, she faced me with a gesture that bellied her weight.
朽木瞳子。
Toko Kuchiki.
え
Huh?
私の名前さ。
That's my name. The girl, Toko, turned her back to me with a swift spin. Toko Kuchiki. A winter that decays trees. What an ephemeral and transient name. Funny thing was, even though we just met, I felt like the name was a good fit for the delicate girl.
いつ果てぬともわからぬ。すぐに壊れて消えてしまいそうな名前でしょ？
Let me guess. Thinking about how it's the kind of name that makes it sound like I'll up and vanish any second?
いや
No. I instinctively shook my head after she hit the bullseye.
無理しなくともいいよ。名は体を表すとも言うからね。私にぴったりの名前。そこが好きなんだ。
No need to pretend. They say names mirror a person's body. In that case, it's perfect for me. And I like it that way. Toko's voice rang like a chime again. Though her choice of words was wanton, her voice was unquestionably a girl's.
ところで俺に一体何の用事があるんだ
Anyway, what do you want with me? I railroaded us back on topic. It felt like I'd fallen into some sort of rabbit hole if I kept humoring her. And I couldn't be having that.
探偵に頼むことなんて一つしかないじゃないか。お仕事の依頼だよ。
What does anyone ever want with a detective? To hire them for a job, of course. Toko mischievously sized me up. Yeah, that was it. Now I knew what she reminded me of. A cat.
聞いてる？
You listening?
ああ、もちろん。
Yeah, sure thing. It was probably something silly knowing girls her age. But killing some time wouldn't hurt.
探してほしいんだ。
I want you to find something.
何を？
And what would that be?
私を。本当の、ね。
Me. My true self.
あ、おい。
Huh? Hey, what the? Toko turned her back to me once again before I could even process those words.
時坂さん、また会おう。
Till we meet again, Tokisaka. And with that, she was gone like the wind. What the hell was that about? Who just up and leaves someone with an order to find them? Wait, could it be?
かくれんぼってことじゃねえよな。
Yeah, right. Hide and seek? Of course not. Seemed like I had a lot to learn about girls these days. I thought this was an eroge. It is. You have to patch it in. This is non-patched version from Steam. Since I knew mulling over the girl's request wouldn't get me anywhere, I decided to finish my errand first. Wait, legit? Yes! I'm playing with this with you guys because I was gonna patch it myself. But I thought that I would show you guys first. Yeah. I was suddenly greeted by a cute yelp. Yes! Kita! The voice came from my feet. Ow! A girl was sprawled on the floor.
誰？
Who are you? I'd never seen her before.
その、いらっしゃいませ。
Welcome! The girl bowed her head, backside still seated firmly in place. It seemed she'd fallen, judging by the tray and drinking glass nearby.
大丈夫かな？
You okay?
申し訳ありません。
Yes, I'm so sorry about that. I helped her to her feet. The girl started gathering up the tray and drinking glasses.
何か。
What, was that not long enough for you? You want to stare up at my wife's pantsuit, huh? Yeah, I need to get this stream out of the way so I can patch it. To be honest though, okay. Sometimes when you play an eroge like this, sometimes the scenes are distracting, you know? Sometimes you have to save the scene for later because it's like, I don't really want to watch this right now. You know? That's my opinion. I don't know how other people play these games, but you know. Sometimes you have to... Okay, see, this is for the normal saves, right? And then sometimes when you get to the eroge saves, you gotta go to this page, and then you gotta save them right here. Okay. Am I the only one who plays the game this way? I don't know. Is there something I can do for you?
新しく雇ったって子か。
You must be the new hire, huh? Kyoko did mention she was enlisting some help, come to think of it.
雨宮初音と言います。以後よろしくお願いいたします。
Oh yes, my name is Hatsune Amemiya. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
よろしく。
Oh, yeah. Likewise. She was bowing so low that I couldn't help but do the same.
こちらのお席へどうぞ、お客様。
Please, have a seat right here, sir. The CG gallery? Well, I don't just want the CG gallery. I want the whole scene.
ありがとう。
Thanks. I took a seat at the counter at Hatsune's behest inside. It felt like I'd wandered into a moon world from a parallel dimension.
俺はお前からこんな接客されたことないぞ。
You know, I've never gotten that sort of reception from you.
時坂くんは特別だもの。他のお客さんにはきちんとしているわよ。
I don't know, it seems like she's pretty nice to us so far. You're an exception. I give all my other customers the hospitality they deserve. Kyoko flashed me a little scowl from behind the counter.
他の客。ねえ。
Yeah, sure. I'll believe it when I actually see any other customers. I craned my neck and took stock of my surroundings. Hatsune was around cleaning, but otherwise the cafe was deserted as the Mary Celeste.
今はたまたま空いている時間なのよ。
You just happened to drop by during a slow hour is all.
わかってるさ。
Yeah, I know. If the place were always this dead, then she could never afford to hire new help, favor for a friend or not.
コーヒーでいいかしら？
One cup of coffee, I take it?
ああ。それと豆も頼む。
Yeah, and some beans, please.
あら、ゆかりちゃんのお使い？
Oh my. Did Yukari send you out on an errand? Kyoko giggled as she brought out a jar full of coffee beans.
今日はね、ブラジルブルボンのいいのが入ってるのよ。
You're in luck. We just got some great Brazil bourbon in today.
高いんじゃなかったか？
Isn't that stuff real expensive? Or so I'd heard, anyway.
でも美味しいわよ。
But it's delicious, right? Kyoko paid me no heed and started weighing the black beans.
安いのにしてくれよ。
At least give me a discount. Kyoko put her task on hold and contemplated my request for a second.
じゃあ、量を少し減らして、お値段もおまけしておいてあげるわね。
How about this? Why don't I give you less so you can pay less?
そいつは助かる。
That'd be great. Better than settling for cheap and crappy beans, at least.
探偵の仕事、お休み中で厳しいのかしら。
So detectives get stingy when they're on vacation, eh?
いや、そういうわけじゃ。
No, that's not what...
探偵なんですか？
You're a detective? Hatsune's hysteric shout made me wince on instinct.
初音ちゃん、お客さんに失礼でしょ。時坂くんだからいいけれど。
Hatsune, you're being rude to the customer, you know that? Then again, this is Tokisaka we're talking about, so it's fine. Kyoko chided Hatsune. At least, I think she did.
すみません。I'm so sorry.
探偵が珍しいのかい？
Never seen a detective before. I took pity and threw Hatsune a bone.
いえ、そうではなくて、私がお世話になった人が上野で探偵業を営んでまして。
Oh no. Quite the opposite, actually. There's this man that looked out for me who's working as a detective in Ueno.
上野？ああ、あいつか。
Ueno. Oh, that guy, huh? There was only one detective in Ueno who came to mind. Damn, talk about a small world.
私にいろんなことを教えてくださったんです。
He taught me all sorts of things. I wonder if she knew that statement could be grossly misinterpreted. Hatsune, no! Nah, on second thought, I wouldn't put it past that guy.
文字の書き方だって教わったんです。
He even taught me how to write. Hatsune's face flushed ever so slightly. That told me everything I needed to know to fill in the picture.
あいつがね。下心なしでそんなことしそうにないんだがな。
Just so you know, I doubt he's the sort of guy who'd do something like that without expecting some hanky-panky in the end.
そんなことありません。ちゃんと優しかったんですから。
That's not true, not at all. He was so kind and sweet about it. Hatsune was getting all worked up.
そういうところに惚れたってことか。
And that's the side of him that had you head over heels, huh?
あれ、そんなことは。
Head over heels? That's not...
時坂くん、あまり意地悪しちゃダメよ。
Don't be a bully, Tokisaka. Kyoko jumped to the rescue after Hatsune's face practically began melting. Though I'd been planning on letting it go anyway, I was grateful for the convenient segue.
この子ウブなんだから。
Her heart's too pure to take it.
京子さんまでそんなこと言うんですか？もう。
Not you too, Kyoko-san. Hatsune inflated her cheeks and started sulking. Utahime! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, welcome! If you guys don't know me, actually, sometimes the raid takes a little bit to load. But, welcome in! Welcome, welcome! Welcome, Uta! Thank you so much! What were you guys doing today? Oh my gosh. But if you don't know me, hi! Welcome! I'm XP! I'm your banished demon otaku VTuber. I'm reading a little bit of this visual novel that I like. It's about like a detective in Japan in the 1950s. Yeah, we're playing a really wholesome game that's definitely not an unpatched eroge. Yes, that's definitely what we're playing. But yes, feel free to stick around, or if you have to rest, please rest. But thank you so much. Yes. Yes, it's also a murder mystery, so, you know. But man, she knew that guy, huh?
やつとはどこで知り合ったんだい？
So, how'd you get to know him anyway?
私が以前いたお店に間借りしていたんです。
Oh, he lodged at the establishment where I used to live.
店？
Establishment? Only one place that fit the bill came to mind.
確か遊郭幸城。
If I remember right, that would be Yukishiro, the brothel.
時坂くん。
Hey, Tokisaka, you're not supposed to just say that! Come on! Be nice! Kyoko painfully squeezed my arm. Only then did I realize that I said too much. Well, I guess he's a detective. He put one and one together. Hatsune hung her head. Oh, I see. So she was...
私は初音は娼婦でした。
Oh, no! I was a prostitute. She shamefacedly looked up and stared me dead in the eyes.
でもね、時坂くん。この子はお手伝いだけで、お座敷に上がったこともないから。
But you know, Tokisaka, all she did was help around the place. She never actually entertained anyone. Kyoko put a hand on Hatsune's shoulder and came to her rescue again. Hatsune looked at me as her face quivered. eyes glistening on the verge of tears. Oh, Toki-san is so mean! And so I gently placed my hand on her head.
君は立派な人たちに育てられたんだね。
You were raised by some fine people, weren't you?
え
Huh?
君の目を見ればわかる。仕事がどうあれ、君は誇りを持ってやっていたんだろう。そういうのは周囲の人間から学び取るものだからね。
Her head bow is so moe, it's so cute. You took pride in your job despite the kind of work it was, right? I can tell from the look in your eyes. That's the sort of thing you learn from the people who watch your back. Working in a brothel was tough even if you didn't actually get any customers. Yet I could tell she lived with her head held high, even in an environment like that. Which was all the more impressive when considering the gruesome incident that happened there.
ほら、なんと言ったかな。あそこの女将の。
Take, for example, the proprietress there. What was her name again?
ウジャク様です。
Madam Ujaku. I barely caught the name that escaped her lips.
そうそう、ウジャクさん。彼女にはいろいろとお世話になってね。
Right, that's the one. She helped me out a lot back in the day. That said, our dealings had been strictly limited to the capacity of her other job, an information broker with ties to the criminal underworld.
5年前の事件以降は、とんと音沙汰がないけれど。
I must admit, though, I hadn't heard anything about her since the incident 5 years ago.
雪代が亡くなった後、ウジャク様は私を養子に迎えてくださいました。
Oh. After Yukishiro closed down, Madam Ujaku adopted me.
なるほど。それで、雨宮か。
Oh, hence your last name, Amemiya, huh? Interesting. I never imagined I'd find out an old source's real name in such an odd manner.
はい。ですから今は母様です。
Yes. So now, she's my mother.
いい人に巡り会えたようだね。
Fate sure was kind to bring you to her, huh? I rustled her hair one more time only to reach for my coffee to hide the embarrassment swiftly rising to my cheeks. It'd gone cold, sadly.
ありがとう、時坂くん。
Thank you, Tokisaka. Thank you for subscribing, Aka and Jojo. Thank you, thank you. Kyoko whispered gratefully into my ear.
俺は何もしちゃいないよ。それどころか、余計なこと。嫌な探偵の性分を発揮してしまっただけだ。
For what? If anything, I'm the one who caused all this mess. All because I just had to be the nosy detective. Hell, I should probably be apologizing to her. I turned to Hatsune with that thought in mind. Our eyes met. Oh. Hmm?
掃除に戻ります。
I'll get back to cleaning. Hatsune abruptly turned away, her shoulder-length hair bobbing as she did.
あらあら、初音ちゃん照れているみたいね。
Oh dear. Looks like someone's embarrassed. Kyoko smiled knowingly as she topped off my cup with hot coffee. The sun was setting in the western skies by the time I returned from Moonworld.
寒い。
Man, at this rate, I'm gonna freeze my nuts off. That's like not what he said at all. Though that was only natural. It frequently got colder than the souls of men around sunset in March. I huddled up as I hastily retreated indoors. I'd suspected what I'd find waiting for me the moment I saw those loafers the size of clown shoes in the entryway. Oh gosh, someone's here. It was true that I'd considered he might drop by. I wouldn't have posted that note on my agency door otherwise. But still, he was crashing my vacation far too early.
Oh, Reiji, 邪魔してるぞ。
Hey, Reiji! Don't mind making myself at home, do ya? The man sipping coffee on the couch turned to face me.
何をしに来やがった、魚住。
What the hell do you want, Uozumi? Kozo, Uozumi, and I were old friends who'd worked at the same place. Though I'd quit, he was still there. In other words, he was an active police officer.
ご挨拶だな。てめえがあっちを留守になんかしているから、俺が西荻窪組んだりまで来る羽目になっちまったんだろうが。
There's that infamous ragey hospitality I know and love. You know, it's you and that dumbass note of yours' fault that I had to drag my ass all the way out to Nishi-Ogikubo.
新宿からそれほど遠いわけじゃないだろう。どうせ四六時中吉祥寺に入り浸ってるんだろ。
No, please. It's not that far from Shinjuku. Besides, you hang out in Kichijoji around the clock already, don't you? We exchanged barbs as I sat on the sofa. Dang, you're at Moonworld all the time, aren't you? That's what he's telling him.
おかえりなさい兄さん。
Welcome home, Nissan. Yukari popped out of the kitchen just then, so I took the opportunity to hand over the coffee beans.
どうしてこいつを家にあげるんだ。
Why'd you have to let this guy in? That's how you know they're really close. That's the kind of thing you say to like a close friend when they come over and your family is home.
寒いのに外で待っていただくわけにもいかないでしょ。
I couldn't have very well left him out in the cold now, could I? She placed a steaming cup of coffee in front of me.
それに魚住さんはお仕事でいらしたんですよ。お話を聞いて差し上げないと。
And besides, Uozumi's here on business, so you need to hear him out.
兄貴とは違ってよくできた妹だよな。
See, why can't you take a page out of your sister's book for a change?
うるさいよ。で、要件は何だ。
Shut up. Well, go on, fill me in. What's up? I took a sip of coffee and faced Uozumi once more. He wasn't the kind of guy who'd ever come over just to chat.
どうせろくでもない面倒事なんだろう。聞くだけ聞いてやるからさっさと話せよ。
Whatever it is. It's gonna be another pain in the ass, right? I'm not gonna promise to do any more than hear you out, so get to it.
お前好みの山だよ。
It's your kind of case. Really now?
私は席を外しますね。
I'll leave you two to it then. Sensing our conversation was going to be far from pleasant, Yukari bowed to Uozumi and left the room.
先日な、井の頭公園で女のバラバラ死体が発見された。
We found the dismembered body of a girl in 𝙚kaushira Park the other day. No. My kind of case, huh? I chomped on a cigarette and lit it. Uozumi followed suit, taking out his own smokes.
もう一つある。
But that ain't all. My hand froze just as I was about to lend him a match.
一昨日か。府中の多摩霊園でも女の死体が発見された。
We found another one at the Tama Cemetery in Fuchu just 2 days ago.
関連は
Any relation? I wasted no time getting down to business.
ない。手口が全く異なっている。
Nope. The MO didn't match. Uozumi finally lit his cigarette.
井の頭公園で出たやつは胴体以外、両腕と両足、それに頭だった。霊園のはほぼ全身が残っていたが、遺棄された状態が特殊すぎる。
The body in 𝙚kaushira Park had been decapitated and butchered limb from limb. We never even found the torso. And while the body in Tama Cemetery was mostly intact, the way it was disposed of was odd, to say the least.
どう捨てられていた？
How so? Uozumi wasn't kidding. My heart was throbbing with curiosity. It was only natural that he'd know me so well after all the years we'd spent together.
墓地に埋められていた。それだけならともかく、片足だけ地表に出されて火がつけられていた。
She'd been buried in the graveyard. Well, that alone wouldn't raise more than a few eyebrows. One of her feet was barbecued and sticking out of the ground. I could hear our cigarettes quietly blazing.
何かの見立てか？
An allusion to something, maybe?
やっぱり食いついてきやがったか。
So you're taking the bait, eh? Uozumi chuckled.
だが今のところ何も分かっちゃいねえ。あとはそうだな。確か左腕が切断されていた。
Anyway, we ain't sure yet. There was something else funny too, though. Her left arm had been severed, I think. Oh, we saw that earlier. Ugh.
片腕だけか。
Just the one?
お、周囲からは発見されていない。
Yep, and it never turned up. He really does look like the thinking emoji, doesn't he? Huh. I stubbed out my cigarette and crossed my arms. 2 murders? It was far too hasty to presume they were serial killings. If anything, making that assumption would only limit the scope of suspects. A dangerous move if there ever was one.
お前さんにはタマレーンの件を任せたい。こちらも人手不足でな。
I'd like you to handle the Tama cemetery case. We don't have enough hands.
おい、ウォズミ。俺はまだ受けるなんて一言も。
Hey, Uozumi, I never said anything about taking the case.
受けるんだろ。
But you are, ain't ya? Uozumi sounded so infuriatingly sure of himself.
お前さんが殺しの話で断るはずがねえからな。
Come on. We both know you ain't never gonna pass up a murder case.
そんなことねえよ。
That's not true. I knew I was just being contrarian. He's being tsundere. Of course I was gonna take the case. My brain was already formulating routes of investigation before we even spoke, even as we spoke.
動くのは明日からだ。任せたぜ。
Job starts tomorrow. I know you've got this.
ああ。
Yeah. But man, it'd been ages since I took on such a grisly case. The last time was 6 years ago. Oh, that's when he quit the police force. I'd failed to apprehend the culprit back then. But I wouldn't make that same mistake twice. I'd put this son of a bitch behind bars for those who died, as well as those they'd left behind. After kicking Uozumi out of my house, I had dinner with Yukari before retiring to my room. I heated myself up by the brazier while puffing on a cigarette. My mind was in overdrive, chewing over everything Uozumi had just told me.
足に火がつけられていた。
A foot set on fire? Huh? If this was the work of some calling card killer, then what significance did that hold? The closest appropriate idiom I could think of was feet to the fire. Then, did that allude to the victim being pressured to do something? No, feet to the fire didn't indicate setting a foot on fire, so that didn't add up. Since I hadn't heard all the details, I didn't exactly know how it had burned. Maybe the way it was burning was the significant part. Whatever the case, I figured it was best to study this from another angle for the time being. According to Uozumi, the body's left arm had been severed. Now, why was that? If they'd wanted to ensure her fingerprints couldn't be analyzed, they would have cut off both arms instead, so why only one? Maybe there was something special about the victim's left arm? Like, maybe she had some sort of tattoo there, or... No, that sounded like something out of a bargain bin mystery novel. Both actions must have held some sort of significance to the culprit, but I was working with far too little information at the moment. Maybe focusing on the dismemberment case instead would prove more fruitful. Now, this one was a fair bit easier. Uozumi said she'd been decapitated and hacked limb from limb, which would have made it relatively easy to transport the body. It was likely the killer had dismembered the body post-mortem and then disposed of it. As for the missing torso, well, they probably threw it away somewhere else. And this culprit was extremely calm and smart despite the grotesque crime they committed. However, though I surmised that much, I knew any further speculation would be pointless at present. I could have started poking into the victim's acquaintances if only I knew their identity. But for now, I had no leads on a suspect.
全ては明日以降か。
Guess it'll all start tomorrow, huh? I'd probably have to go back to slumming in my office once again. Once it did too. Thus, I wanted to get a bath in before that happens. My agency didn't have one, so home was the only place I could take a nice hot soak. Then again, there were several soap lands near the office, but, well... I threw a towel over my shoulder and rose to my feet. But man, it was alarming to hear 2 incidents like this had happened in such quick succession so close to home. Yeah, that's what they're for. Uh-huh. You could Google it. Was it the work of the same killer or merely a coincidence? Only 5 kilometers separated the crime scene as the crow flew. They were close enough for a single culprit to be responsible for both. But they couldn't have carried the corpses. Did that mean the criminal had a car? Not like that helped narrow down the list of suspects. Tons of people had cars these days. Screw it. Bath first, thinking later. Oh my god. Oh, bath scene skipped. After getting out of the bath, I returned to my room and warmed myself up by the brazier. Man, was I beat. I took a cigarette carton off my desk and grabbed a smoke. Upon lighting it, I tossed the match into the brazier. Ugh. I breathed a heavy sigh and puffed out a cloud of smoke. It wasn't Uozumi's job that was on my mind at the moment. No, it was that strange girl that I'd met in the park. She'd also hired me for a job of sorts.
自分を探してくれ。ねえ。
Find me, huh? Discover her true self? Could she have meant that... psychologically? If so, that was way past my pay grade. Warm myself up after a shower. Well, maybe it's like really cold outside, you know? You know when you get out of the hot shower and it's really cold outside? Cause like the shower is so warm. She'd be better off asking a philosopher or a doctor. Then again, maybe that was a perfectly natural question to have at that age.
兄さん、そろそろ寝ますね。
Nissan, I'm going to bed. Yukari opened the door and poked her head in.
ああ、おやすみゆかり。
Okay. Good night, Yukari. I turned to her. Momentarily, I considered asking her about the girl I'd bumped into this morning, but I thought better of it. Yukari might have known her, since they supposedly went to the same school, but didn't feel like the right time to ask. And so, I tried tackling it from a different angle.
なあゆかり。本当の自分を探していると言われたらどう思う？
Hey, Yukari. What would you think if someone asked you to find their true self?
謎かけですか？そうですね。
Is this some sort of riddle? Give me a minute. My sister's features softened.
今ここにいる自分は本物の自分ではないという考えでしょうか。今の自らに不満があり、どこかに幸せな本当の自分がいると思っている。
It sounds as if you don't feel like the you that you know is the real you? As in, you're not happy with your current self and think that the real you is out there, happy somewhere. Yukari answered as she glanced at the ceiling from time to time.
謎かけだとしたら、もっと答えは簡潔でしょうか。
Though, this is a riddle, so maybe the answer's far simpler than that?
いや、参考になったよ。ありがとう。おやすみ。
No, that was very helpful. Thanks. Good night.
お役に立てたのでしたら幸いです。 おやすみなさい、兄さん。
I'm glad I could be of assistance. Good night, Nissan. Yukari smiled as she left the room. Not happy with yourself, huh? This Toko Kuchiki didn't seem down in the dumps from what I saw of her, which admittedly was very little. Our conversation didn't exactly get very deep, so I couldn't tell if Yukari's analysis was hot or cold. Seriously, just what in the world was going on in that cat-like girl's heart? It tantalized me to no end. Dang. We're not even at the meat of the story. I woke up and entered the living room to find breakfast already set up on the table. Sometimes I forget, like, when you play, like, actual visual novels, how long it takes to get to, like, the actual story parts. Because I've just normally been reading, like, Blue Archive stories, you know? But when reading visual novels, it's like they describe what they're doing at the table, and then they describe when they open the door, and then they describe like what their thoughts, like what they're feeling. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna play this again though. We've been playing for quite a long time. I don't know. I would have to decide, but should I spoil it? I don't know. 3 hours into Umineko episode 1. Okay, we're about to get to the good part. Exactly. It takes a little bit, right? You gotta go over the family squabbles and stuff. Okay, maybe I won't spoil what happens then. Maybe we'll do like one more reading of this. And then yeah. Maybe then I'll leave you guys to it. You're gonna play it later, huh? Well, I can't patch the game if I'm gonna play it next time. I'll probably pick the game up and patch it. Yes. Okay, maybe I'll play this like once next week or something. I'll play like a little bit more. The story is not that hard to follow anyway from here, right? We're just a detective and we live with our sister, and there are some small details here and there. How long is it? This game's really long. This game is really, really long. Like I said, we haven't got to like the main part of the story yet. But this series of murders that he's about to like go into is part of like the main story. But yeah, I think I'll probably stop here for now since I've streamed a bit longer than normal. Yeah. Even though I really like this game and I really enjoy this game. I think I'll try next week. Yes. Don't want to cook your voice? Oh, I'll be fine. I think this game is probably only like 40 hours, maybe. But yeah, takes a little bit. Anyway, I'll raid you guys somewhere. I gotta close the game first, actually, though, because this game, it like I think I said earlier, but I can't do anything when the game is open. The game, it like takes up the whole screen, and it doesn't let me alt tab out of it or anything. P's voice is ultra powerful. It's been pretty good recently. I've been in pretty good health recently, I think is what it is. I was really sick for a long time there. Okay, let me see who's live. Oh, she's been streaming for a long time though. Actually, who's live? Who's live? Who's live? Who's live? Oh, Banana is doing karaoke. Why don't I send you guys to her? I'm not sure how long she's been doing it. If the game had been patched, would you have gone through Hanky Panky alright? Maybe! I don't exactly remember. Like I said, I played this game like almost like 14 or 12 years ago or something. I don't remember everything about it. I just remember it's a very good game. It has a very good story. if you're interested in looking into it, if you Google the name of this game, there are also other types of media that exist of it. But I don't think they really go into the story too much. I don't know. I like the story. Anyway. I didn't know it was an eroge. Yeah. Anyway, what kind of media? You can figure that out. Okay, bye, Pete. Oh, we're doing drawing stream tomorrow. Drawing stream tomorrow. Who knows if we'll ever do another one. Don't miss it. Okay. Bye. Bye, Pete.